Hello everybody and welcome to my Complete Blu Ray and 4K collection. I've decided I wanted to do this video, number one, because I've been watching a lot of my favorite YouTubers' Blu Ray 4K collection. And pardon me, I'm watching these dogs. They got noisy collars. If that bothers you, then it shouldn't bother you. But, anyways, I'm moving houses, in case you can't tell. Another new studio. I said this in a previous video. I was living in my grandparents' basement there for a little bit just to help them out. But now I am living in this house with these two dogs. So, yeah. I decided I wanted to do this video just because I've been watching a lot of these videos. Also, just because I'm moving houses. And so what's the point of already taking these movies down to transfer them to this house if I am literally just going to take them out again and do one of these videos? I figured it would be the perfect time to do one of these videos. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be filming it over the next couple of days. I'm obviously not going to spend too much time editing this one. It's going to be out. I don't know when I'm going to have it scheduled to be out. But I'm going to have other videos come out in the same time. So, without further ado, say hi to Everest and Bella. And we are going to dive into the Blu-rays and 4Ks I have. I don't know how many I have. I really don't. I don't even have them all moved over. So over the next couple of days, I'll have to move them. But let's start with this stack right here. So why not? Take a drink of water. This is going to be a long video. That's good water. Good girl, Bella. Alright, let's kick us started out with the 3 Avengers movies I have. Age of Ultron. I did have the original Avengers, but it's kind of a crappy case and whatever, and the disc doesn't work because it was used. Avengers Age of Ultron. Avengers Infinity War on 4K. And Avengers Endgame. I'll talk briefly about these. Age of Ultron is good. I literally just watched it a couple of days ago, actually. I think it's a good movie. It is a solid movie. I feel like it is one of the most important films inside the MCU just because of the amount of stuff it sets up. And I feel like it sets it up perfectly. Ultron is cool, but it does do a little bit too much, and it is by far the weakest Avengers film. Still one that I have a really good time watching. This is my personal favorite MCU film. I absolutely adore this film. It's just my comfort movie to go sit down and watch all of my favorite characters interact on screen for pretty much the first time. It is just truly special. And then this one closes out the saga in a perfect way. A little long, I do say, but still, again, I watch Infinity War Endgame every year, and I love them each time I watch it. I love these movies. Another 2 movies, Dune on Blu-ray and Dune Part 2 on 4K. And I know the lighting is a little rough. I'm still trying to figure that out. Not the biggest fan of the original Dune. I thought it was fine. The third act kind of tries to set up a Part 2 instead of kind of closing out its own story. But that's okay because Part 2 is my favorite movie of 2024. One of my favorite movies of the decade. Heck, one of my favorite movies of the century. I adore this movie. I think it is just absolutely awesome. I love these characters. I love the world that Villeneuve has made. It's purely one of the awesome movies of the century so far. I've watched it like 5 or 6 times, and I just love it each time. Yeah, let's do this. Dr. Sleep. I have The Shining in here. We'll talk about The Shining here in a few minutes. But Dr. Sleep, haven't seen it. Haven't seen The Shining either. Honestly, I'm a little more excited to see Dr. Sleep than Shining just because the trailer looks like it's something that's completely for me. Oh, I didn't even realize Rebecca Ferguson was in this movie. She is. But, yeah, I just really want to watch this movie. I really want to watch The Shining, and it's something that I just haven't gotten around to that I've got to. And then Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness on 4K, one of the most hated MCU movies. I love horror. I really like Sam Raimi. And I love Marvel. What more do I want than a Marvel movie directed by Sam Raimi? I get it. It could have been so much better. But this is just one that I always have a great time with. I really like this movie. Had to pick it up on 4K. And a lot of them you'll see these yellow stickers. It's because I get most of my Blu-rays from this place called V-Stock. It's a used place, but all the movies are pretty much in pristine condition. So that's what I use all the time. Let me grab these 3 right here because they were stacked up too. The Fabelmans, I think this is Spielberg's most recent film. I had a good time with it. It's emotional, tells the story of his life, and it's just a really good movie. I think this had some Oscar buzz too. I'm not so sure about that, but I liked it. Thought it was really good. I have enough fun with Dora and the Lost City of Gold. I think they're actually having a sequel come out this month that I do not plan on watching, but I just have enough fun with it. I love Isabella Merced. This is just one that when Family Video was still a thing, I don't know if you guys know what that is, but I don't know if it's like the biggest thing, but where I live, we didn't have Blockbuster, we had Family Video, and so me and my brother rented this, and then we rented like 5 or 6 more times when we were younger, because we just had so much fun. I was like 13, 14, but I still enjoyed it. Haven't really rewatched it since, but I like it enough. And then we got Fall Guy on 4K Steelbook, just probably my favorite David Leitch film. Had such a fun time with this one. It is hilarious. Ryan Gosling is awesome. There are some fun action set pieces. So really, what more do you want from just kind of just this fun summer movie? I really like that one. All right, what should I pull from next? We'll start over here. Start pulling from over here. And we start out the stack with Blue Beetle, a really good DCEU film, probably one of my favorite DCEU films. I feel like the first half of the movie is a little bit underwhelming, but as soon as you get to that second half, has these big emotions, also has some big action set pieces with the Blue Beetle suit. I love the main actor in this. He's in Cobra Kai, so just one of my favorite DCEU films. My brother has 2 copies of this movie. I didn't have any. I don't like this movie, but he said, do I want it? I said, sure, why not? I recently saw Megan 2.0. I haven't talked about it on this channel. Actually, by the time this video is out, I will have talked about it on this channel with my June movies ranked, which I also got to film later today. But I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. It's just a horror film, PG-13, appeals to the TikTok generation. Not my thing. 2.0 is better. Still not my thing. Falcon and the Winter Soldier Steelbook. This used to be my favorite one until I rewatched it just a couple of months ago. The script is horrible, makes every character seem overly whiny, the arcs aren't good, and when I was like 14, 15, I thought this was awesome. 16 years old, thought it was awesome. Now that I kind of matured in my filmography, realize that the script is awful and it's almost unwatchable show. I did not enjoy the rewatch whatsoever. I used to like it though, that's the crazy thing, is that I wish I still loved it. Script is rough. I don't know if I have the second one around here, but I have 1 and 3. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Secrets of Dumbledore. I haven't seen this one. I know I've seen this one a long time ago. I don't remember too much about it. But I have to watch all the Harry Potter movies. I've seen a couple of them, but I've just never watched the whole thing. So I have to, and I also have to watch these movies. So I picked those up just for when that day comes. Another double feature here. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows, Guy Ritchie's 2 Sherlock Holmes films. Haven't seen them. I've watched bits and pieces of this one, but thought it was okay. Guy Ritchie is an interesting director for me. I think that he makes some good movies. He does. But also at the same time, a lot of his movies are misses for me. I'm just not so sure what I think of him. But I'm sure I'll have a good enough time with those. We got well, let me go ahead and grab it just so we can talk about it because it's right here. Shazam and Shazam! Fury of the Gods. This is just a really fun DC movie. As much as I've grown to really dislike Zachary Levi, I do still think he's pretty funny in this movie, and that goes against my personal judgment, but I do have a good time with this one. I feel like the last act is really fun. And this one is just your generic DC film. Not the biggest fan of, but my brother got it for me for my birthday. I haven't rewatched it, so maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more. But for now, it's just kind of this generic movie that's not really all that. I'll save this one, put that up here because I know I have others. Because the way I'm moving, I just take them all and put them in a box and then I'll sort through them later. So it's a little bit mixed right now. I think I have the other one in this one too. Sorry. I know I have the third film, but that's one that I've left at home for now that I'll go back and get later on. And probably feature near the end of this video. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 in 4K. I have a really fun time with this one. It's just a really fun road trip movie. I love Sonic. And this one, it has a bigger story. It's not as fun as that first movie. I feel like Tails kind of brings it down. But it's still a very fun Sonic adventure. It definitely takes more from the games. And it walked so Sonic 3 can run, which we'll talk about Sonic 3 when I show you guys my 4K here in a little bit. Alright, another stack time. Let's just grab this big, thick stack right here. showcase it for you guys. Secret Window Blu-ray. I'm really interested in checking this out. I just haven't yet. It's a Johnny Depp movie. It's a thriller movie, and I enjoy Johnny Depp. I really enjoy thrillers, so I think I'll have a really good time with it. And it sounds like one that I would really enjoy. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. I'm not the biggest fan of this movie. I really wanted to see it. I watched it, and I feel like the third act just gets so weird and clunky for me. I feel like the Edgar Wright's vibe in this one just doesn't really work. I have Baby Driver here somewhere that we'll talk about here in a little bit, and that is my favorite Edgar Wright movie. It's probably always going to be my favorite Edgar Wright movie. But this is my first Edgar Wright movie, and it definitely disappointed me, and it kind of turned me off from the rest of his films until I watched Baby Driver. Sicario, Day of the Soldado. Love this movie. One of my favorite movies of all time. I just think that it's just got some great moral conflicts. I love the cast. It's intense. But for some reason, I haven't watched the sequel. Number one, because it's not directed by Villeneuve. It is directed by Stefano Sollima. I think I'm saying that right. It also doesn't have Emily Blunt in it. So it just feels everything like a sequel that just won't capture the magic of the original. And so I just haven't wanted to check it out. I'd probably check it out eventually, though. Valkyrie, I bought this one at V-Stock just because my mom said that it was that my dad enjoyed the movie. I haven't watched it yet, but it's got Tom Cruise based on an incredible true story. Not really my type of film, but I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I can't really talk about it. Like I said with Dr. Sleep, The Shining, I haven't seen Dr. Sleep or The Shining, and so I have The Shining here on Blu-ray. I had like 6 copies of it, and I eventually got this one with the nice slipcover. So I'll end up watching them. I hope later this year is the year I'm finally going to be able to watch The Shining and Dr. Sleep. And then we got Seven, a nice 4K slip here. Got clips of the movie from the back. Let me open it up and show you guys. I don't remember where I bought this one at, but I remember it said 4K 7. Haven't seen 7. I've always wanted to watch 7, but I bought it. Just got little clips, pieces from the movie on the side here. Opens up again. And then in here, you got the 4K disc. So, again, another movie that I haven't seen. I'm really interested in seeing. I like David Fincher. The couple movies I've seen of his are good, but I haven't seen the rest of his movies. And I got Zodiac around here somewhere, too, on 4K that we'll talk about when I get to that. Shang-Chi, another MCU movie I rewatched recently, and I feel like it's fun. It gets a little too weird with its humor, kind of turns it off a little bit, but I still have a really great time with this one. Great action set pieces with Shang-Chi, good villain, so a solid 4-star MCU film. Shaun of the Dead, Steelbook. Haven't watched this one, but I really do want to. Probably end up watching it later this year. Had to pick up the Blu-ray Steelbook for whenever I do watch it, because it's another Edgar Wright movie that with Simon Pegg in it, and I do like Pegg. So, Thor Ragnarok 4K. Love this movie. Think it's awesome. It's the funniest movie inside the MCU. The Hulk stuff that they do in this film is great, and just kind of turns over Thor for a new leaf in a good way. Unfortunately, Love and Thunder sucked, but Ragnarok was a banger. Where did the first movie in that franchise go? Kind of just disappeared, didn't it? Oh, there you are. It's over here. Before we talk about those, we got Alicia Vikander's Tomb Raider movie. Haven't seen the movie. I don't know if I'll ever have a need to watch it, but when I do, it'll be here if I'm ever in the mood for a Tomb Raider movie. I purchased it because, holy crap! No, I'm sure I would not have bought it for $21.99. I'm sure that it had a different price tag on the wrapper. Top Gun. Oh, gotta flip it around. Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun is okay. It's a good movie. My dad loves this one. I thought it was fine. And then you got Top Gun Maverick, which is just a really good movie. Much better than that first film, in my opinion. Recently revisited it. It's a solid 4.5 star movie. So I really like Top Gun Maverick. Alright, let's grab these and this one. Starting to run out of room here. Serenity on Blu-ray Steelbook. I purchased this one because I found it at a bookstore for $7.99. Haven't watched it. I think this is, this is Joss Whedon movie. So I have it. for if I ever want to watch it. Another classic movie that's had Oscar buzz that I've never checked out. The Silence of the Lambs that I really wanted to watch because it just sounds like it's a movie that'll be 110% for me. So I have Silence of the Lambs. I really need to watch it. I'll probably watch it later this year. Another Guy Ritchie movie, Snatch. I haven't checked it out, but I've heard it is one of Guy Ritchie's best movies, so I did purchase it. I do need to check it out eventually. Hopefully this will be one of the Guy Ritchie movies I like. And then we got Tommy Boy on the Blu-ray Steelbook. I think my brother loves this movie. He talks about it all the time. I have not watched it, though, but I do need to watch it. I got it for Christmas a couple years ago, and I just haven't had a chance to watch it. I'm not the biggest comedy movie guy. I just feel like a lot of them, the story doesn't really work for me. Alright, let's grab this stack right here, if I can. Yes, I can. I'm really running out of room over here. Triple feature, V for Vendetta, Watchmen, and Constantine. I haven't seen either of these movies. I'm more interested in Watchmen, the Zack Snyder movie. V for Vendetta I've heard is pretty good too, but I haven't heard great things about Constantine. I bought it $12.99 for whenever I want to watch any of those three films. I also have just a normal copy of V for Vendetta because I heard it's good. I think I bought this one before I bought the 3-pack, so I have the V for Vendetta. So, again, another movie I want to check out. Venom, I have Venom 2 and Venom 3 runners somewhere. We'll get to it later. Venom, I feel like the first part of this movie is much better. Then as soon as he gets with Venom, it just kind of rushes through the majority of the movie and just kind of let me feel exhausted by the end of it. None of the Venom movies are prime cinema, but at the very least, I have a little bit of fun with it. The best one is the third one, though. Super 8, J.J. Abrams film that I purchased because I am interested in watching it. I have not seen the movie, though, and so it's another one that has been on my radar that I want to see. And it's kind of getting buzz on Twitter with some people I follow talking about one of their favorite films of all time, so I do need to check it out. Sully, a Tom Hanks movie based on a true story of him landing the plane. I haven't seen it. I've heard good things about it, but it doesn't really seem like it'd be one of my things. I think my mom bought that movie for me at like a Big Lots or something. I had the Blu-ray of this. I gave it to my brother so I could get the 4K of the best DCEU film, The Suicide Squad, directed by James Gunn. Just brought everything that he's so good for and anything he does inside this film. And so it's just fun. It's funny. It's crazy with the humor. And the final battle, they're fighting Starro. So what more could I want from this movie? I cannot wait for Tuesday when I'm going to go see Superman. So Suicide Squad is an amazing movie. This one, not so much. We have like 6 plane crashes in this movie. We don't care about any of the characters. None of the action sequences are remotely good. So Suicide Squad 2016 is a big pile of dog crap. I used to enjoy it, though, when I watched it with my grandpa a long time ago. Again, my brain's kind of matured a little bit, so I'm not the biggest fan of it. Sucker Punch, a Zack Snyder movie that I haven't seen because I haven't heard too many good things about it, but I was going to watch Zack Snyder's films a couple of years ago before Rebel Moon, and then Rebel Moon came out, and I watched Rebel Moon, and it sucked so bad that I didn't want to watch them again. So I have Sucker Punch. It looks fine, but I haven't heard good things about it. Mom told me to purchase this movie, Stir of Echoes. Haven't seen it. It's a Kevin Bacon movie. And maybe it'll be good. I hope it'll be good when I watch it. She tells me to purchase these movies all the time, and a lot of them are just goofy. But the one movie I did purchase, it's probably actually down here somewhere. Yeah, right here. I'll go ahead and talk about that too. That we also watched. The only one I really liked was A Skeleton Key. It was just a solid thriller. The end of the movie was really intense and just had this crazy twist that I was not going to see coming. So I really like this one, and I hope Stir of Echoes is going to be like that. Let's grab them right here. Halfway through my first box. The Walking Dead, the complete first season. It's a fine season. I feel like the pilot episode is great, but then the rest of the season, just not very good. Season 2, though, is really good. And then I've seen half of Season 3, and then I kind of stopped watching it for some weird reason. One of my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movies, The Visit. It is honestly a genuinely scary movie. The twist at the end had me thinking about it for days when I was like 16 years old. Not too scary now that I'm, grown. But it's still one of my favorite M. Night films. Voodoo Apocalypse. I don't know anything about this movie. My brother bought it for me at a Big Lots. So we have Voodoo Apocalypse. Don't know if I'll ever watch it, though. It looks so stupid. My favorite movie of the decade, Talk to Me. I adore this film. I feel like it is just this brutal, devastating horror film. The directors of this made Bring Her Back earlier this year, which I thought was another devastating, emotional horror film. So, Talk to Me, and then just the way the movie ended is just pure masterpiece. So, Talk to Me is by far one of my favorite films of the decade and of all time. The Super Mario Bros. Movie, it's a solid movie. It takes after the video games a lot, which I can just really respect as a fan of the video games. But the movie it's fine. It's a fun movie, and that's all I wanted for my Super Mario Bros. Movie. I didn't need it to be a 10 out of 10. Just needed to be a fun Mario movie. Let's just couple these together. We got. I don't know if I'll watch these before Superman, but maybe I will. We got Superman the movie, Superman 2, the Donner Cut, and Superman Returns. I haven't seen any of these movies. I'm not the biggest Superman fan. I'm just looking forward to the new Superman because it starts the new DCU. The trailers look awesome. James Gunn's awesome. But, I'm just not the biggest fan of the character itself or himself. So, I just never really been excited to watch this. Terrifier 2 Steelbook, Terrifier 3 Steelbook. This movie is really good. It runs a little long, so it kind of wanes my interest after a while, but it's still a really good movie. And then Terrifier 3, best of the franchise. Way the movie ended at a cliffhanger was awesome. Great kills. Had me closing my eyes a lot of the scenes in the theater. I really liked it. And my brother actually bought me a Steelbook, so shout out my amazing brother for buying me the Terrifier 3 Steelbook. Break number 1 completed. One more thing. You're going to see a little bit of shadows because my phone is dead and I have something I have to do here in a little bit. So, have to leave it on the charger. And I don't have a flashlight in this house. So, whole side of my face is dark. I apologize. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem 4K Steelbook. I find this movie to be highly enjoyable. I like the way that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles act as teenagers. I like the villains of this movie. There's some fun action sequences. The animation's cool. But I do think the story does have a little bit too much exposition. A little bit too long to fully get going. But I enjoy this movie. It's, I wouldn't say a top tier Ninja Turtles movie, but it's fun. And I am excited for whatever they do left of this franchise. I have my Peach 5 Celsius here. Interstellar. I don't know what my favorite Nolan film would be. I do have to rewatch all his movies. This would be up there. Emotional film. Interesting sci-fi film. Great performance by McConaughey. And I was in tears by the time the movie ended. I only saw it once a couple of years ago. I had been meaning to rewatch this one. But for now, this one is really in high contention to be my favorite Nolan film. The Godfather. Another classic movie on all these Blu-rays that I own that I haven't ever seen. I've never seen The Godfather, so can't say much about it, but it's directed by Ford Coppola, and I've been meaning to watch a lot of his movies. I've been meaning to watch the Godfather trilogy for a long time now, and just for some weird, stupid reason, I've never checked them out. I don't think I have 2 or 3 here either, but there's the first Godfather I have. Rogue One. I'm not the biggest Star Wars guy. You're not going to see a lot of Star Wars movies here because I'm just not the biggest fan. But I do like Gareth Edwards. Jurassic World Dominion came out yesterday and probably will be my least favorite film from him. But I haven't seen Rogue One. I am meaning to watch it because I've heard this one's good. And this one actually looks like something I might like. Plus, I need to revisit Star Wars. It's been a while since I've watched the movies. Hopefully because I've matured a little bit, I'm going to like them more. But for now, not the biggest fan of them. But I have Rogue One for whenever I want to check it out. We have the Saw X... A little dark here. The Saw X 4K Steelbook that I have. It's a nice looking Steelbook. I like this one a lot. It's not one of my favorite Saw movies. When this one came out, I watched all of the Saw movies for the first time, and I did have quite a good time watching them. So to say this one's one of the weaker ones isn't really saying much. I enjoyed it. I'm not so sure what I thought of what they did with John's character. near the end of the film. But I have it on 4K if I ever feel like revisiting that one, which in my opinion might be one of the weakest Saw movies. Strangers Chapter 1, 4K Steelbook, and I did put my light up now so the shadow is gone. I do apologize about that. The Strangers Chapter 1. It's a nice little steelbook. You open it up, you got that here, and then you have to open up this little flap here to get the steelbook, or the flap on the bottom. I didn't hear good things about this one at all, so I was contemplating not buying it, but I bought it because I think this is really cool. And I actually like this one quite a bit more than a lot of people did. I thought that it had some very stupid characters, yes, and kind of impacted the viewing experience. But for me, I found that the horror elements were pretty effective in this one. Had me on the edge of my seat for the majority of it, and kind of ended in a way I'm like, I'm curious to see what happens in part 2. So I'm definitely in the minority with this one, but I enjoyed The Strangers Chapter 1. I get why a lot of people didn't, but I personally just, my horror body enjoyed that. I still believe, what's this, Jeremy Camp? Yes, Jeremy Camp movie. It's a Christian movie. Not the biggest fan of Christian movies, but some good ones can be pretty good. I haven't checked this one out. I think my mom bought this one, so I just have it in my collection because I keep the Blu-rays in my family. But, yeah, it's about Jeremy Camp. It's a Christian movie. Haven't checked it out. Don't got much to say about it. And then the final one in this pile, Jack Reacher Steelbook with Tom Cruise. I saw bits and pieces of this one a long time ago. I wasn't the biggest fan of it. Honestly, I don't know why I own this movie because I've just never really been something that I'm interested in. If I'm going to watch a Tom Cruise action movie, I'm 110% going to watch a Mission Impossible movie. But if I ever just feel in the mood, I'll watch Jack Reacher. And I own it on Steelbook. Nice copy there. Gotta grab my next pile. And this is where we can pull out the Spider-Man. I'm going to show off my entire Spider-Man collection. There we go. Put that there for a minute. I want to talk about Spider-Man. Alright, let's start with the MCU Spider-Man. Because for some reason, I don't have Amazing Spider-Man or the Andrew Garfield movies. I just have the MCU Spider-Man. Got Homecoming on 4K. Adore this movie. It's one of my favorite MCU movies. It shows Peter Parker as a high school student, which is just awesome. It's probably my favorite Spider-Man movie. Far From Home, weakest one of the trilogy, but I have enough fun with it. It has enough fun schlocky moments, but as an MCU movie, we've definitely had better. And then No Way Home, which just is not only a perfect closeout to Tom Holland's character and his specific arc, but it's also just a perfect way to bring back Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield. I adore this movie. I really, really, really love these three Spider-Man movies. It's my favorite trilogy inside the MCU. And then more Spider-Man. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse on 4K, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. This is probably going to be my favorite trilogy of all time, honestly, beyond just Six to Landing. Great origin story. Fantastic and emotional second film that just left us on a cliffhanger that I cannot wait to see what happens next. Seriously, every time I watch this one, I'm in tears by the very beginning, pretty much to the very end. I adore this movie, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's a top 3 movie of all time for me, and this is probably end up going to be my favorite trilogy once it all finishes. Alright, done with the Spider-Man stuff. We got Soul, which I recently put out a Pixar ranking short video, and it was near the bottom. That's not to say it's not a bad movie. It's still a very enjoyable, solid movie. Still have a really fun time every time I watch this one, but I do feel like it goes a little bit off the rails for the last 30 minutes, and that's why it kind of just impacts my enjoyment every time I watch that. Gotta take a drink of my energy drink. Yummy. San Andreas 3D. It's just a schlocky, fun destruction movie with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. It's not anything special. It's not like a top 10 destruction movie of all time, but destruction movies, the point of watching it is because you want to see buildings collapse and action stars do their thing. And that's what I get with this one, and I do have really fun time watching San Andreas every time I do. Scream 5 4K Steelbook. I don't know if I actually have the original Scream on Blu-ray. I know I had it on DVD. I don't collect DVDs anymore. Scream 5. It is a really good movie. The rest of what this franchise is for is to make fun of the slasher genre. And this makes fun of slasher requels, slasher reboots. And it does it in a perfect way. We get Dewey's death in here, which has that emotional punch. Find the reveals to be really refreshing. I always enjoy this film. Much better than Scream 6. And with all the drama around Scream 7, I don't even know if that movie's happening. The Untouchables, a Brian De Palma film. Haven't watched it. I've heard good things about it. I like the one Brian De Palma film I've seen, which is a Mission Impossible movie. So, I'll have to watch it one of these days. I'm going to throw this out here. I'm very interested in this film. Uncharted. This is just a fun adventure movie. I know I'm using the phrase fun movie a lot, but that's what this is. I watched it, and then I watched it again the very next night. I had a fun time with it. I've never played the game, so I don't have any that emotional connection to it. So I just took this as a Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, fun action-adventure film. That's what it is. I enjoyed it enough. All right. Now we got another huge section in box number 1. And then we'll move on to box number 2. Toy Story 4. Was not a fan of this one the first time I watched it. Then I rewatched it. And I thought that, yeah, it's a really good ending to Woody's story. I'm a little excited but also nervous for Toy Story 5. I don't think that it's a necessary movie, but we're getting Toy Story 5. Toy Story 4 is just yet another good ending in this franchise, even though we've had 2 already. I wonder what Toy Story 5 is going to do. Elektra, I haven't seen this movie. The only thing I've seen Jennifer Garner's Elektra in was Deadpool and Wolverine, which is a movie I love that we'll talk about here in a little bit. So can't really say much about this movie. I've heard it's bad. I bought it because it's $6. So there's that if I ever want to watch all the bad Marvel movies. The 8th film by Quentin Tarantino, The Hateful Eight. I've been meaning to watch Tarantino's movies. I don't think I've actually seen any Quentin Tarantino movies. So have the Hateful Eight on Blu-ray for whenever I finally will get around to watching them. This is one that I am very interested in because a good Western movie can be a great Western movie. And so I'm interested in it. Southpaw, a boxing movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal. Close personal friends say that this movie is great. Again, another movie I just haven't had time to check out. But it has new original music from Eminem. So, not so new anymore, as released probably 10 years ago. The Bad Guys, a DreamWorks movie that doesn't have the emotional state as all the other DreamWorks movies do. I do still very much enjoy The Bad Guys. I find it to be just a fun and charming animation movie. I grew up reading the books. More specifically, my brother grew up reading the books. And we get a sequel to this next month, actually. So, hope that one's just as fun, too. I think the trailer is fun. John Carpenter's The Thing. It's not going to be the only John Carpenter movie you see. We have a lot more. I've only seen Halloween, honestly. So I've been meaning to watch all of John Carpenter's movies. And we have The Thing here. Can't really say much about it because I haven't seen it. But it's one that's up there on my watch list. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. One of my personal, just most entertaining films. Has great cast. They're in the jungle. It's hilarious. It's fun. And that's what this movie is. And I have it on 4K. It's a movie that I have some of the most fun if I'm ever watching a movie with. And the sequel. Do I have the sequel in this box here? I do not. But I do own the sequel that we'll probably talk about here for too long. And then we have the only two Terminator movies I own that I haven't seen. Terminator Genesis, Terminator Dark Fate. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of that original Terminator, but T2 is great. One of the best sequels of all time, and I haven't seen any other ones. So I'm interested, but I haven't heard great things about it, so I haven't really been rushing out to watch them. All right, I'm just going to grab them. No, let's just do it like this. Next section, we're going to dive into some X-Men movies. I got more X-Men movies in here, but it's fine. I'll just go one by one. X-Men Days of Future Past, one of the best X-Men movies. It's just a great story, going back into the past, bringing in the original trilogy with First Class. I enjoy all of these X-Men movies, so this is one of the best ones, just for what they do alone, combining the two. Speaking of best X-Men movies, this is not it. This movie is the worst X-Men movie. It's absolutely horrible. We're just going to toss that down there. It is not good. I just own it because Family Video was going out of stock. I just bought all the X-Men movies they had there, so I'd own them. That one deserves to be thrown in a fire. And then we have this with Vig Rhames, Zombie Apocalypse 2012, uncut and unrated. Never heard about it. I think it's another movie that my brother bought for me at Big Lots, so if I ever want to watch some stupid schlocky movie, I know where to get some. Voodoo Apocalypse and now Zombie Apocalypse. Apocalypse movies. couple Zombieland movies, Zombieland on Steelbook, Zombieland Double Tap. Saw this one as my first movie I saw last year because I started it in 2023, finished it in 2024 on New Year's Eve. Thought it was fine. It's just kind of like a day in the life of these characters until you get to the end where there's actually a real story. And it's fun. You're hanging out with Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg, the whole cast. You're just hanging out with them. You're having fun. That's what it is. And I haven't checked out Double Tap. Sure to be more of the same. And then we have Zoolander, the Blue Steelbook. Haven't seen this movie. I do like Ben Stiller, though. So hopefully when I do check out this movie, I will have a good time with it. All right. The last couple of chunks out of box number 1. I don't know why I have Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey on Steelbook, but I do. It's not good. It's really not very good at all. It has some okay kills. It's disgusting, purely disgusting. So it has enough of the gag factor to it. The characters are endlessly stupid. The plot is nothing. It's just not a good movie, and I just haven't checked out Winnie the Pooh, Haven't checked out Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 or the Peter Pan one or anything. I'll probably check them out eventually. One of my personal favorite zombie movies, World War Z. I just have so much fun with this one. I watch it every October. Love Brad Pitt. He just runs from zombies. What more could you want from this movie? Zombies climbing over people into other places. The story's a little weird, but still, it has the schlocky zombie action I enjoy. Would be better rated R, though. We got The Wolverine, which is a solid enough little Wolverine adventure. It's nothing fancy. It's not like a top 10, or not top 10, but top 5 X-Men movie. But I had enough fun watching it just as an adventure. Wonder Woman, it's a decent enough DCEU film. I always, again, have a really good time watching it because it's got this solid adventure with Gal Gadot, Chris Pine doing their thing. So I do like this one. I will say, every time I go back to rewatch it, I just kind of get uninvested from it. So it's a little worse every time I check it out. X-Men Trilogy Volume 2 Steelbook. This is the sequel trilogy, First Class, Days of Future Past, and Apocalypse. Says it right there. Shadows. We are going to fix the shadows. Don't worry, guys. First Class is a very solid X-Men movie. I already said what I said about Days of Future Past. And Apocalypse is really good for the first half and completely loses my interest the second half. But still, I really, really like the X-Men movies. And Wonka, one of my biggest surprises. I'm not a big Charlie and the Chocolate Factory fan, at all, but I had a really good time with this one. I found that the musical numbers were great, had some emotions. Chalamet is amazing in this movie, and so this is one for Black Friday this past year I had to pick up. I had to pick up because of how much I really liked it leaving the theater. I had the biggest smile on my face the whole time. And our last stack, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 movies left in the first box. And then we got 2 more boxes over there and probably 1 more box. Told you it would be a long video. We got Upgrade, which is a really good action movie from Leigh Whannell. Kind of hit close to home due to all the AI stuff kind of taking over people's jobs and stuff. So this is just one that had some great action sequences, had a really good story, really good movie by Leigh Whannell. Watched it for Wolfman, which I did not like at all, leaving the theater. Alien Romulus, a really, really good Alien film. I think it's probably my second favorite Alien film out of them all. My Alien ranking's jumbled. I don't have a special place for Alien or Aliens, so my favorite one is Covenant. This probably is my second favorite. Stuff with the aliens is just purely awesome. I have it on 4K, by the way. Stuff with the aliens in the middle of the film is purely awesome. The third act gets a little wonky with the hybrid creature thingamabobber, but I do really still have a great time with this one. Have it on 4K. The Haunted Mansion, a movie that I grew up with. It's literally my childhood, but, pretty big but here, I do think that the newer one has a little bit better story. This one's not a good movie, but it's nostalgic for me. An MCU movie that I recently revisited as well, due to Thunderbolts. Black Widow. I feel like this movie has so much potential. It's really good for parts, but I also always feel like the script is just doesn't give it enough credit. It feels like it could be so much better than it is, and it's still really entertaining, but I always leave it like, that could have been amazing, and it's just good. So, do have it on Blu-ray, though. Goodfellas. This is directed... this is a Scorsese film. I haven't seen it. Another mob movie I want to see that I haven't seen. Heard great things about it. Have it on Blu-ray for whenever I want to check it out. And then, actually, this was my first short on this channel, was when I was going to go get these two films. Venom, The Last Dance on 4K, my favorite Venom film. I actually liked this one, where the other ones I kind of left like, okay, yeah, those were fun, but they weren't very good. I actually kind of like this one. Pretty fun movie. I mean, it's hilarious. You have the fun action sequences. Script's still bad as ever, but I still really enjoyed it. I haven't revisited it, though, since I bought it that day. And then Smile 2, which I have revisited a couple times. Love this movie. It's very creepy. Great performance by Naomi Scott. And I did make a video about why this should have gotten some Oscar love, because I genuinely believe this was some of the best performances, best score. I genuinely left this film saying, yes, that was one of the best movies of the year. And I still feel that it is one of the best movies of the year. I love Smile 2. I'm a little frustrated. This is a couple days later, after I did the last 42-something minutes of this Blu-ray collection video. And I filmed a whole stack. I have probably, honestly, right here, probably about 100 movies I went through this morning. Took me 2 hours to film, and my stupid mic wasn't on. This is the first time this mic has messed up on me like that. So I should be grateful, but I'm a little bit frustrated. 2 hours this morning, gone to waste. And I need to go through all these movies. A little bit mad. So we're kind of going to go rapid fire from here on out. It's weird because for me, it's like several days later. It's like filming a whole new video. When for you guys, it's literally the next second. Before we do that. Celsius time. Alright, I'm just going to dive into these stacks. I don't care how I have them. Lara Croft Tomb Raider. I talked about this with the Alicia Vikander one. I haven't seen any of the Lara Croft movies, so I don't really have much to say about them. But I have the one with Angelina Jolie, the first one, the steelbook of that. I don't even know where I'm going to put these. I guess I'll open this shelf right here. Have that steelbook. The Lighthouse, a Robert Eggers film. The only Robert Eggers film I've seen is Nosferatu, and I like that one. I like his vibe that he brought to that, and I've heard this one's really good, so I have it on Blu-ray whenever I want to check it out. Live, Die, Repeat, a really interesting Tom Cruise movie with just a really cool concept. But for me, the longer the film goes on, the more it kind of wanes interest, and it's not as near as good. But it starts off really strong. I haven't watched it in several years. I think if I rewatch it, I'll be down to it. Had to take my earbuds out of my pocket. Kill, a Indian action film that released last year that I was excited to watch, and it kind of disappointed me. Found there to be some cool action sequences, and there's like this nice vibe between our hero, who we liked him watching him kill all these guys, and then the villain, who, you know, they're watching a family get murdered. So it has that nice vibe there. I just couldn't care because the longer the movie went on, it was just kind of copy and repeat, and definitely waned my interest after a while, and I left that one like, that wasn't very good. But it had the makings to be great. Peter Jackson's King Kong Steelbook. I haven't watched it, but I have the Steelbook. I like this selection of Steelbooks, you know, like the comic style. This is probably about, well, they might have, yeah, maybe? No, it's normally they have these papers in there that say what else in the collection, but this one's just a bunch of Blu-rays that it says, is this 4K? No, it's not. It's just Blu-ray and DVD. I have the, whenever I want to watch it. Jumanji, just a really good classic Robin Williams adventure. I like the sequels much better than I like this one, but this one's still a fun time. It's just not one I'll revisit over the other ones. Rest in peace to Robin Williams. A franchise that I watched for the first time when the newest one came out. I don't own the newest one, but I have the Hunger Games franchise, 4-movie collection, 4K Steelbook. I just love this franchise. The first Hunger Games, just a really good story with really good emotions, I feel. And you feel the danger. Catching Fire, hot take for me, I think it's the weakest one. Mockingjay Part 1, it's a Part 1, and then Mockingjay Part 2 just has all the emotional payoff that, personally, for me, I loved Mockingjay Part 2, as I was in tears pretty much the entire back half of the movie. But it's a franchise I really loved watching for the first time. Hereditary, an Ari Aster movie. We got another Ari Aster movie around here somewhere. I was sick. My parents were going to a baseball game, and I was sick. So I stayed with my grandparents. This was playing on HBO when I was like 15, 16. And when I saw the little girl get her head just absolutely obliterated by that pole, I was just, I couldn't do it. And I just haven't grown the balls to go back to it since. Take a drink of the Celsius. The Hitman's Bodyguard, The Hitman's Wife Bodyguard. Haven't seen these films, but it's got Ryan Gosling, Samuel L. Jackson. Look to be just some stupid, fun action movies. And every once in a while, I'm in the mood to just watch a movie that does, kind of just turn your brain off action film. And that's exactly what those two look like. Groundhog Day, 4K Steelbook. A movie that's concept was really good. First half of the movie is really good, but I feel the longer the movie goes on, the more the film kind of drags for me and kind of gets a little too preachy, a little too science-y for me and loses my interest. But I like the Steelbook. It has him on front, and then you got the groundhog on the back. A neat-looking Steelbook. Halloween on 4K, possibly, I don't know if I'd say this is my favorite horror film of all time. Either this or the original Scream would be my favorite horror film of all time. But have this on 4K. It's one I watch every Halloween. It is a little bit of a slow burn if you're not like a huge film fan like me. I can't really see you watching this one and being fully entertained. But, I mean, it's just utter classic that has reshaped the genre, and I have it on 4K. Cannot wait for Halloween. I watch it every single Halloween. Insidious, The Last Key. I have Insidious, the original Insidious Steelbook around here somewhere we'll get to in a few minutes. The first two Insidious movies are fantastic. The third one's okay, and the fifth one is terrible. Haven't seen this one. It's the only one in the franchise I have not seen, and I own it, I just haven't seen it. A movie that I've been interested in watching for the longest time, ever since, because people were saying it got robbed from Oscars, and I just haven't watched it ever since I bought it. The Iron Claw. It's a movie about wrestlers. It has Zac Efron, one of my favorite actors working today, Jeremy Allen White. So it's just a movie that it's on my radar. It really is. It's a movie that it's got to be a movie that I watch very soon. And then 3 movies here. Iron Man, Iron Man 2, and Iron Man 3. Iron Man, fantastic start to the MCU. Iron Man 2, terrible sequel. And Iron Man 3, probably the most underrated MCU film in my opinion. It's just a fun Shane Black action movie, just with great action sequences. Proves that Tony Stark is more than just his suit. And I think it's one of the most monumental films inside the MCU. It doesn't matter that, you see the Mandarin, that he's not actually the Mandarin, because the story outside of that is great. Another 3 films set here. It, the miniseries, haven't seen. And then It Chapter 1 and It Chapter 2. It Chapter 1 is just a great horror film. You love the characters. It Chapter 2, it's a little weaker, but you still love the characters. And in the last 30 minutes, it gets really emotional to where every time I watch it, I shed a tear. Got 2 more in the first pile of 6 that I did. Probably 7, honestly. Huntsman, Winter's War. Haven't seen these movies, but I think they'd be kind of, for me, just kind of the takes on the classic fairy tales. Chris Hemsworth, Charlize Theron, Emily Blunt, Jessica Chastain. All-star cast. I just haven't watched them. And then Inception, Christopher Nolan's movie. It's a movie that I watched first time, and I was like, okay, that was okay. I watched it a couple weeks later. Yeah, that was better. And I watched it again. That was better. And each time I watched it, I've only seen it 3 times, but each time I watch the movie, I think it gets a little bit better and better and better. But I haven't watched it in recent years when my brain has fully matured. So it's one that I probably should check out again very soon. When The Odyssey comes out, I'm going to have a Christopher Nolan ranking on my channel. I'll put those up there, and we'll do this number. We'll do this, and then we'll scoot you guys over here. And I'll put them over here. This is fun. You could tell that what I filmed before was a lot of fun. Knives Out, a Rian Johnson murder mystery, or as it says on the cover, a Rian Johnson whodunit. This is just a really fantastic, brilliant murder mystery with an all-star cast. Daniel Craig, Chris Evans give all-time performances. Ana de Armas, Jamie Lee Curtis, Michael Shannon, Don Johnson, Toni Collette, Lakeith Stanford, Catherine Langford, Jaden Martell, and Christopher Plummer. Just an all-star cast, an all-star story. I just adore that one with every ounce of my being. Krampus, a Christmas horror movie that I just haven't seen. Every Christmas I tell myself, I'm going to watch Krampus this year. And, I've heard good things about it, but I just never got around to watching it. This is a year, maybe. The movie that brought me as the on-ramp to horror, Lights Out. I was terrified of this movie when I first watched it. Now it's just like, okay, yeah, that's PG-13. Lights go out, there's a demon that emerges from the dark. But I still enjoy it, It's got a good cast. It's got characters that you do vibe with. So it's a movie that I probably owe a lot because I am a horror freak now. But it was one of my first ones. John Wick, chapters 1 through 3. John Wick, chapter 4. Chapter 1, disappointing. Chapter 2, I used to love, but honestly, this last rewatch, I was really bored. By the way, I have a John Wick ranking on the channel. Anyways, and Chapter 3, great action sequences, mixed story. And Chapter 4 kind of takes everything out of all of the other movies and just forms a great movie. Definitely drags a little bit, but still, it's by far my favorite out of them all. Jesus Revolution, I'm not really one for Christian movies, but this is probably my favorite one. It just tells a really good story, I think. A really good story, and it was really effective. I do feel like there was a conflict near the end of the film that kind of waned my interest the longer it went, but it's still good. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, first 15 to 30 minutes is absolutely atrocious. I despise it with all of my being, but as soon as you get past that, it's just a really fun monster movie. Godzilla blowing stuff up and fighting monsters. It's really fun. It's just one I don't revisit that often because the first 15-30 minutes are just atrocious to get through. The Equalizer. The Equalizer 3 is everything I wanted this movie to be. This movie just takes way too long to get started, and as soon as we get to the action, I just really couldn't care because the movie definitely waned my interest since then. So it's just a movie I was highly disappointed by. But I like The Equalizer 3. I don't own it, and I also haven't seen The Equalizer 2, but I wasn't the biggest fan of that one. Fast X. Actually, we got 2 Fast and Furious movies here. The Fast and Furious 20th Anniversary 4K Steelbook and Fast X. I adore this franchise. It's one of my favorite franchises. Actually, I have another one around here somewhere. Yeah, I'm sure we'll get to it. I just absolutely adore this franchise. This movie is just a really great racing movie with 2 great leads that you care about. And this movie just, after F9, which just gets way too ludicrous and stupid for me, I feel like this one just kind of brings us back to form, just the goofy, stupid action movie that I really enjoy. Sean Chandler, the guy that basically was my inspiration, says that those movies are Taco Bell movies, and I cannot describe them better than he can. Go check out his channel if you haven't already. Frozen, a great animated Disney movie, catchy songs, maybe a little too catchy because they're very overplayed now, but just tells a great story about siblings and just a really good adventure. Not one I revisit often, but as a Disney film, it's a really good. The 2 Ghostbusters movies I have, they might not be the ones you expect. Ghostbusters Steelbook, but this is the one with the women, and then Ghostbusters Afterlife. This movie, there's a couple fun jokes, there's a couple fun moments, but overall the film, for me, doesn't really do much. And Ghostbusters Afterlife is my favorite of the franchise. It just has everything that those original movies do, but it's much more emotional than those, and I'm in tears by the end of the movie every time. The Eternals. This is one of the most underrated Marvel movies. I feel like it feels like an actual movie instead of just a copy, rinse, repeat that the MCU has been doing recently. It's really good. It's definitely got issues, but it is really good. I like the characters. There's some cool action set pieces. The monsters that are in the movie, they are really cool. I want to watch all Neil Blomkamp's movies, and we'll get to his other movies, but first off, we got Elysium from the director of District 9, which is Neil Blomkamp. Haven't seen the movie. It's probably the one I'm least interested in out of his filmography, just because I'm not the biggest Matt Damon guy, but maybe I'll enjoy the movie. Maybe I'll like it. Haven't seen it. Best Picture winner from a couple of years ago, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Just a really unique and awesome movie. Michelle Yeoh kills it. Ke-Huy Quan absolutely nails it. Just a really great, unique movie. Dumb and Dumber, haven't seen it. It's a movie I've been waiting to watch with my brother or some friends. Like I said, I'm not really the biggest comedy guy, so it's never really my first choice to watch. But we have Dumb and Dumber. I love Jim Carrey. I do love Jim Carrey. If it's got to be a comedy, it's got to be a Jim Carrey comedy. But they're never, like, if I'm sitting down watching a movie, I'm never going to say, oh yeah, let's watch a comedy. The Foreigner, just a movie that, near the back half, there's some cool kung fu stuff, but the story just doesn't really do much to draw me in. So, solid 3-star action film, but not much more. Friday the 13th Part 2, probably my least favorite horror franchise. I don't like these movies at all. The first film is atrocious. This one's a little bit better, but they're just kind of generic slasher movies. And someone who loves Halloween, it did pave the way, but this is just kind of... The series is just blatant ripoffs. And every time I see someone saying, oh, yeah, Friday the 13th is awesome, I don't vibe with it because I hate the movies. God's Not Dead. I haven't seen it. It's another Christian movie my mom probably bought for the family to watch, but haven't watched it. It's one of the most popular Christian movies, though. Gone Girl, a David Fincher movie. Like I said, haven't seen much Fincher movies. Actually, today, I was looking through his filmography. You got a couple movies I've seen. The Killer, Social Network, Alien 3. Those are the only ones I've seen. And a lot of movies that have been on my watch list. I don't think we've talked about... We might have talked about Zodiac. Hold on, is it in this pile? It might be in the pile. We may have talked about it. We may not have talked about it so far. We'll figure that out. But, Gone Girl, another one. Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike, thriller movie. Love movies like this. Movie again, another film by him I'm interested in. I just realized I also got a pile up there, too, that I gotta talk about. I did a lot this morning, and we're doing a lot now. Furiosa, a Mad Max saga. Not as good as Mad Max Fury Road. I feel like it loses a little bit of itself here in the middle of the film. But if you're looking for awesome action sequences like you get in the Mad Max franchise, you're going to get it here. Anya Taylor-Joy absolutely kills it as the title character. So, a fun enough movie. Godzilla vs. Kong, the first one. No, we haven't talked about the sequel because it's right here. And Godzilla x Kong, the New Empire, 4K Steelbook. I watched this film a couple times when it first released on HBO Max because I was so much looking forward to it, and I didn't like it at all. And then I rewatched it when this one came out, and I thought it was still stupid, but I had more fun with it than I ever did. And then this film, characters still very stupid, character subplot still stupid, but it's some of the best monster action inside the franchise. So, The Fighter, another boxing movie I haven't seen. Mark Wahlberg, Christian Bale, Amy Adams. Haven't seen it, so can't say much about it, but it's nominated for 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, so it's one I probably should get on watching eventually. PG-13 horror film, The Forest. One of my old friends told me that it was good movie, so I picked it up, and I never watched it. Sure, I probably won't like it because it's PG-13 horror. I haven't heard anything about it, but maybe it'll end up being one of those surprising movies. But I don't think it will. First Man, a Damien Chazelle film. Haven't seen it. I've only seen Whiplash, which is around here somewhere, which is just a phenomenal Damien Chazelle film. So he's 1 for 1 out of the films I've seen out of his, but I've heard this one is by far his weakest movie. I own it for whenever I get around to watching all Chazelle's movies. Probably the most underrated DC or superhero movie of all time, The Flash. I get it, yeah, the cameos suck, CGI sucks, but it's awesome to see Batman and Supergirl in the movie. It's got a really good story about the Flash's family and the family arc in this one. It's got some good action sequences. So I thought it was a really good superhero movie, and I'm surprised. I'm not really surprised, but it's a movie that's just become so overhated this past couple of years. I just don't get it. I love The Flash. Now we got Halloween, the requel. Halloween and Halloween Kills were just good movies, in my opinion. Really good movies. And Halloween Ends kind of ruins the trilogy. I have both of them. We'll talk about Halloween Kills before too long. But Halloween, a really good requel, and just captures the magic of that original. Not as good. It's like a 4-star film where the first one's 5 stars, but it's still good. Glass. I've seen Split, and I've seen Unbreakable, but I haven't seen Glass. Unbreakable is good. Split is good until the final 20 minutes. But I haven't seen Glass because I'm not the biggest M. Night fan. His recent stuff has been great, in my opinion, but I don't know. I don't know if I like it. Haven't seen it. Godzilla Minus One on 4K. Just a Godzilla movie that makes Godzilla scary. I saw this in theaters. There's still scenes that are just stuck in my head. Rattled me to my core. Genuinely terrified me because of how awesome he was. But besides the Godzilla stuff, you also have the characters in the movie that are just really good characters and just have a really good story instead of just the monster stuff. Normally you go to the movies for the monster action. In this one, you go for a really good story. Jordan Peele's Get Out, his first movie. Nope will always be my favorite of his. I got it probably around here somewhere. But this one, really good movie. Touches on racial themes. Really good plot twist. I was not expecting watching this one. So it's his second best movie. Not as mid as Get Out. But not Get Out. As Us. But not as near as good as Nope, in my opinion. And then last one in this pile. Baz Luhrmann's Elvis. I'm a big Elvis... Not a big Elvis fan. I'm a big Austin Butler fan, and I do like Elvis. I bought this one for Black Friday a couple years ago, but I haven't checked out the movie. And then I got one more stack over here, but let's jump up to this stack right here. Gremlins on Blu-ray, this fancy disc here. It's a movie me and my family watch every Christmas. Just have a ton of fun with it. It's got Gizmo and... all the gremlins just going crazy. Kind of has horror vibes for a Christmas movie. It's a ton of fun. I'm going to take a drink before I get to the next one. Greenland. It is just a really good apocalypse movie with meteors. You care about the characters. You still have the fun, crazy apocalypse stuff with meteors falling down. Some really good set pieces in this one. So I think they've greenlit a Greenland 2, which I don't know how they're going to do that. But that's a solid one. Hobbs and Shaw. Not one of the best Fast and Furious films, but it's still a pretty fun movie just because of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Jason Statham. A lot of fun on screen. Idris Elba's great. Vanessa Kirby's in there. Have some great action sequences. And it does stuff with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's family in this film. So not one of the best ones, but it's still pretty fun. One of my biggest hot takes is I'm not the biggest fan of Home Alone, and I haven't seen Home Alone 2. Home Alone, I just kind of got bored by the story until you actually get to what you go to a Home Alone movie for, which is gangsters or the robbers getting messed up. I don't think we've had Part 2 released yet. This is Horizon American Saga Part 1. It's the Kevin Costner passion project, and I haven't seen it. It's 3 hours long. I've heard that it doesn't even complete any half of the story, so... I bought it for Black Friday last year, but I just haven't checked it out. And then two more in this pile. And then I think I'm going to go to that box that I already completed, the small box. House of a Thousand Corpses. This is a Rob Zombie movie. It's a one movie in a trilogy that I haven't seen, and I've been meaning to watch this trilogy. Rob Zombie's an interesting director for me. I feel like I'm not the biggest fan of his Halloween movies, but... And the monsters. The movies I've seen of his weren't very good, but he's got this distinct style, so I'm interested in that trilogy. And then we got Gravity. It's Alfonso Cuarón movie I haven't seen. Sandra Bullock, George Clooney. I got it because it was like $2 at Dollar General. Haven't watched it, though. Then let me move this up here, scoot this to the side, and we'll go for the back pile. Which, the top movies here are movies actually I bought at the mall after I already filmed the first part of this video. And then other ones are ones that I had at my other studio where I was living, helping my grandparents out, movies that I watched over there. First off, the three that I bought. Godzilla. Showing the wrong end. Godzilla on 4K, Gareth Edwards one. I was so excited for Jurassic World Rebirth because of what Gareth Edwards' direction. Like I talked about with Rogue One. And it wasn't very good. But I love that fact that he makes Godzilla terrifying again. Again, you don't really care about the characters or anything, but makes Godzilla feel kind of scary in this one, large scale. So I got it on 4K whenever I rewatch it. It's not a great movie, but it's good. So whenever I want to rewatch it, I have it on 4K. And I got these three movies because it was buy two, get one free for the July 4th sale at V-Stock. War Dogs, who did direct this one? Todd Phillips movie. He directed Joker, which is one of my all-time favorite movies, and Joker Follow You Do, which is a movie I hate. War Dogs, haven't seen it, but it's got Jonah Hill, Miles Teller. I got it on 4K whenever I'm in the mood to watch a movie like this because one of my friends recommended me the movie. And then Parasite, a Best Picture winner from 2019. A movie that I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about. I've seen two Bong Joon-ho movies, and the lowest one was 4 stars, Mickey 17. And it's in my top 10 of the year so far. So I definitely need to check out Parasite if it's what people hail as his best one. Hail. Drag Me to Hell, a 4K of a Sam Raimi movie that was just a lot of fun. It does a lot of mouth stuff, nasty mouth stuff, but it's PG-13. It's kind of an on-ramp to horror, but it also has some really effective jump scares, I think, and characters you enjoy. It's not one of Raimi's best, but it's still a good movie, and one that I recently watched. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning 4K Steelbook. I've got some other Mission Impossible movies down there that we'll get to, and I really like this one. Actually, heck, I really love this one. It's my favorite one of the franchise. It's got some amazing action sequences, just some awesome set pieces. The movie flows pretty perfectly, so this is the one I rewatched the most, and it's my favorite one. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, a movie that I haven't seen since Out of the Theater until a couple months ago, and I just adored it. I didn't like it out of the theater. I did like it out of the theater, but I was disappointed out of the theater, and I loved it watching it again. It's just very emotional. The emotions that I just wasn't the biggest fan of in the theater just because I feel like it was kind of cheapened. But great emotions, great story, flows really well. The last hour and a half of the movie is just a big action set piece, and it's a lot of fun. Great villain, too, and just a great ending to one of my favorite trilogies in the MCU. Two John Carpenter 4K Steelbooks that my mom recently bought me. Escape from New York, They Live. Haven't seen either of them, but John Carpenter is a director, like I said earlier in the video, that I've been wanting to watch a lot of his movies, and I just haven't yet. But now we have Escape from New York and They Live on 4K. Shout out my mom for that. I'm going to take a drink of Celsius before I talk about the order. The Order. The movie that came out last year. I saw a trailer during a Marcus Mystery movie, and I thought it looked really good, looked like a really good thriller. Jude Law, Nicholas Hoult. So as soon as I saw it on Blu-ray, I was like, I gotta watch that. And then I just didn't watch it, but it's at the top of my watch list. I'm still looking for a movie to watch tonight. I'm stuck between several ones, but I might throw this on tonight to actually check it out. No, I didn't talk about the Pierce Bronson collection I have. But I do have the Daniel Craig collection with Casino Royale, Skyfall, Quantum of Solace, and Spectre. Seen Casino Royale, seen Skyfall, and then I got No Time to Die in one of my other boxes that we'll get to. I love Casino Royale. It gets really good. It gets so much better each time I watch it that I'm like, oh, this is actually really good. Final 10 minutes don't really loop it around for me, though. Skyfall was a really good one until got a little too zany in the final 30 minutes of the film. And then I haven't seen Quantum of Solace and Spectre, but it's a whole movies that I've been meaning to watch, but every time I do, I just go back to the ones I've already seen. Specifically Casino Royale. I've seen that like 3 or 4 times, but I've only seen Skyfall once and No Time to Die once when I keep saying I need to rewatch those. And then Jurassic World Collection, which I recently watched. I'm still going to have a Jurassic World ranking coming soon. Jurassic World 5-film collection, Jurassic World Dominion on 4K. Jurassic Park, incredible. The Lost World is my least favorite one. Underrated film, which is Jurassic Park 3. Jurassic World's awesome. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, I genuinely cannot wrap my head around why people hate that movie, because I love it. And then Jurassic World Dominion, it's a bad movie, but it's a fun movie, and I still have fun with all the dinosaur action set pieces. Alrighty. That's it for... Drop that there. That's it for the stacks that I had. But we still have a whole box that I've done. This whole box. And then we will be completely caught up in what I've done this morning. I don't know how long I've been filming. I think like an hour and a half already. Don't know how much I would have cut out. Well, let's go for it. Let's just grab these here. Alright. So you can see I opened this earlier to show it and I just haven't shut it. It's The Girl in the Dragon Tattoo, yet again. I've been meaning to watch Fincher's movies. This is one that I've been meaning to watch. There, I shut it. Got Daniel Craig. I'm a big thriller guy. I'm a big spy movie guy. So I'm pretty sure this is one that I will enjoy whenever I get around to watching it. Ghost in a Shell. It's a movie that kind of popped out for me when I was shopping at Slackers at my local mall. I just never watched it. Like, it popped out to me, and then I never got around to watching it. Scarlett Johansson. I think it's based off an anime. But I haven't watched it, so I can't really say anything. But I haven't heard good things about it, so I don't know why I bought it, but it just kind of jumped out at me. 3 steelbooks that I got last year during their Halloween. Actually, I got 2 of these these two for Christmas, I think. And then one of them was at Slackers the same day I bought Ghost in the Shell. That was Your Next, Hannibal Rising, and Texas Chainsaw. I think this is the 2013 one. Your Next, I haven't seen any of them, but I like the Your Next and Hannibal Rising just because it's got like the split head and then the person arriving. I don't like the design of this one whatsoever. It's got a little bit too much going on, but haven't seen any of these movies, but I want to check them out. Specifically, Your Next and Texas Chainsaw, but Hannibal also, just because I want to watch that franchise as well. And then probably one of my least favorite, not even probably, one of my least favorite movies of all time, Old. It sucks, the script sucks, the twist sucks, the cast sucks, the dialogue is boring, the body horror is just disgusting, but not in a horrific way. I hate this movie. I was going to toss it over there, but the dogs were over there. Hate this movie. We'll just throw it there. Old sucks. I guess that's what it means when the boomers say getting old sucks. That was my attempt at humor. It wasn't very funny. I love Celsius. And I'm sure there's people that's going to say, why didn't you cut out all the times you were drinking Celsius? Well, because I didn't want to. Gladiator 4K Steelbook that released last year before the release of Gladiator 2, which I did purchase on 4K. I didn't think these movies would be made for me whatsoever. I didn't think I'd like them, just because it just doesn't seem like my type of movie. But this one did win Best Picture, and I could tell it is awesome. Just some awesome set pieces. Love the character that Russell Crowe plays. I forget his name. Just phenomenal ending. This one's more of a blockbuster, not really going for Oscars, not really going for praise. It's more of just a blockbuster, but it has some phenomenal action set pieces. A great cast. Does get a little too mixed up in the third act of the film, though. But I really, really loved both of those movies. I think Gladiator 2 was a top 15 film of last year for me. The Thanksgiving 4K Steelbook, just a slasher in the vein of Scream. Got a cast here. They get slashed up. It's holiday. And that's why I liked Hard Eyes that released this year, because it just reminded me of movies like this. Fun little slasher movies that don't really matter in the grand scheme of the world. Just fun movies. I got that for Christmas last year. Same thing with the Footloose 4K Steelbook. I haven't seen the movie, but whenever I want to watch it, I got it on 4K. Guardians of the Galaxy references that a lot. Transformers, the original, just one of the not even one of the best, the best Transformers film. It's awesome. Has great action set pieces. Love the cast. It's just so goofy, where the other movies get so goofy that it kind of just takes away from it. I don't think there's a single movie in the franchise that I just love as much as this one. There's some that are good, but the original is always going to be the best one. Is this the original? Yes, it is. And then Heat on 4K, a Michael Mann movie. Every once in a while just pops up on Twitter where people are saying, hey, Heat is an amazing movie. Haven't watched it, but it is at the top of my list. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, rest in peace. Have it on 4K. Bought it. Where did I get Heat? Did I get that at V-Stock? I can't remember. Let me grab you too. Alright. Love Hurts, a movie that I saw the press screening for. I had an amazing time with it. Under an hour and a half. Great action set pieces. I love Ke-Huy Quan. Had a really good time with it. I thought everyone was going to love it. Then nobody did. I was the only person probably on planet Earth. Me and my grandma who went to go see it with me. Probably the only two people on Earth that fell in love with it. Drive on 4K Steelbook. I don't remember who it's directed by, but really good movie. Really visually fantastic film. Love Ryan Gosling. Just a really unique movie. The story has its flaws, but it's just a really unique movie. Not like anything I've ever seen before. Yet another David Fincher film that I haven't seen. Zodiac on 4K. Mark Ruffalo, Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr. Haven't seen the film, though, so I can't comment on it. Except that I want to see it. Really bad. One of my favorite Star Wars films. One of the only two that I actually liked. The Last Jedi, Rian Johnson. He brings enough visual flair. He brings enough uniqueness to the Star Wars franchise that I just found to be kind of boring. I found the Star Wars franchise to be kind of boring. And so this one is the opposite of boring. It's unique. It actually has some thrilling moments. The throne room sequence is awesome. And I'm definitely on the side that loves The Last Jedi. As much as I'm not this big Star Wars fan, I really like that one. And I bought all these at a thrift store when I went to Kansas City. Same thing with Love Hurts and Gladiator 2, which I bought at the Walmart there. One of Nolan's first films, Memento. I haven't seen it, but I got it for $4. Again, when I watch all of his movies next year for the Odyssey. And Doctor Strange. The second one is a much better movie, in my opinion. It's also much more rewatchable. This film, probably the best visual-wise film inside the MCU, but story-wise, it has a lot of issues. But I bought it because it was $4. Let's just grab this stack here. Oh, shoot, no, because I have all these on the floor still, and then I will be caught up. I'm still not even close to being caught up. The Nice Guys, just one of those movies, Private Dicks, that everyone talks about. A movie that I've been wanting to watch for the longest time, and I haven't even opened it. I bought it for $25 at V-Stock on 4K. A movie that I really need to watch because I've heard just nothing but amazing things about it. When I went to Kansas City, we went to the Jesse James Museum, and they showed an ad for this one. I was like, that looks really good. Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck. So my mom bought it for me for $3 on Amazon. Shout out her again. But I haven't watched it, but I have it whenever I'm in the mood to watch a movie like that. And then, just like I said with the Daniel Craig collection, the Pierce Brosnan collection with GoldenEye, Tomorrow Never Dies, The World Is Not Enough, Die Another Day. Haven't seen any of these films, but probably before the Denis Villeneuve James Bond movie, I'll watch them all. Cannot wait for Denis Villeneuve's James Bond, by the way. A film from, I think, a couple years ago, or was it last year? I can't remember. Monkey Man. It's got some really great action set pieces, but the story taps into a little bit of the mystical side of things, and it just wasn't really my thing story-wise. But when we get to the brutal action, especially the final 15 minutes, awesome, awesome stuff. Lethal Weapon 4-film collection. Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3 with Joe Pesci, and Lethal Weapon 4. Haven't seen any of these movies. If they ever make another one, I'll probably watch them. But also, Richard Donner, that's his name, he directs these movies, and I've been meaning to watch the Superman movies from him, so maybe one of these days I'll get around to watching all of Richard Donner's movies. Inside Out, probably the most emotional Pixar film. Also kind of takes away its rewatch factor. I don't think this is one I rewatch that often just because of the fact that it taps into those emotions. When Bing Bong dies, like, it's truly devastating stuff. So, not one I rewatch often. Inside Out 2 is just an amazing movie. This one is just really good. Take a drink of Celsius that I'm not editing out. Mouth is going dry. Maybe I should have brought some water down instead of a Celsius. Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, the recent releases on 4K. Like I said, Quentin Tarantino, been meaning to watch all of his films as well. And so I got these two movies whenever I do watch them on 4K. Kill Bill Volume 2, my brother actually bought for me because it wasn't at my local Walmart. He went to Walmart, saw it, bought it for me, so shout out him. He's awesome too. I've been really meaning to watch these. And then the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre Steelbook. The most horrifying motion picture I've ever seen. I've seen bits and pieces of it. It's pretty scary. But I haven't checked it out. The full thing. Like I said, I haven't watched all those movies. And then I have the stack that in my previous recording, I tried to set them down nice and gentle. And then I dropped them all. So I got to fix them real quick. Alright, I got the Evil Dead movies kind of scattered through here. Actually, let me go through and grab them real quick. There we go. Those are the three ones I have. And then I have the Evil Dead 2013 4K Steelbook that was at my Walmart, but it's still at my house currently. Evil Dead, which is not good at all. I actually really didn't like this movie. It's like Evil Dead 2, except goes for the horrifying vibe and not the campy vibe. And I love the movie so much more when it had that campy vibe. I have a fantastic time with Evil Dead 2. And then Evil Dead Rise, my favorite film in the franchise, pretty much by a long shot. Just horrifying stuff happening here. Great visuals, great cinematography, brings in the horror flair, and also it's happening to a family, so it can be kind of devastating. And I bought it on 4K. The Expendables 4-film collection. I've only seen Expendables 4, and I think the fact that I haven't seen the other 3 was why I enjoyed it much more than probably everybody else has. And then after that, my dad bought me these for my birthday, the 4-film collection on 4K. So I love the Steelbook. I love it. It's awesome because you got him smoking the cigar, and then you take it out, and it's just a machine gun. I didn't even realize that. So just an awesome, awesome Steelbook. These Lionsgate's Steelbook collections are awesome. Same thing with the Hunger Games one that I have. Inglourious Bastards, a Quentin Tarantino movie. Again, been meaning to watch Tarantino's filmography. Haven't seen it. It's got Brad Pitt in it. I'm sure it looks like a really fun film. Halloween Kills. Like I said, Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills could make a really good trilogy. I get it. People don't like the film. It's overly preachy. Evil dies tonight. Evil dies tonight. It can be really cringe. But you get Michael Myers running through the town and killing people. Just super, super enjoyable. Enjoyable. Entertaining. Entertaining to watch people get murdered? That's crazy. And I'm just gonna... Crap. Just gonna grab these. A neon horror movie that released a couple years ago, Infinity Pool with Alexander Skarsgård, Mia Goth, and Cleopatra Coleman. I need to watch this movie just because it's got Mia Goth, Alexander Skarsgård, two great horror actors. But I bought it to watch it before the end of that year when on my old channel, but didn't watch it. The Incredibles 2, hot take for me. I enjoy this one more than I enjoyed the first one. Let's not take away from the first one. It's a 10 out of 10 movie. This one's also a 10 out of 10. I find the story to be a little bit more enjoyable, honestly. And also to have those comedic moments. I really like that one. One of the best horror movies of all time, in my opinion. Insidious 4K Steelbook. This one is awesome. I really, really love this movie. I think the family dynamic is awesome. It's PG-13, but it still manages to be horrifying. The Red Demon is awesome. That jump scare, man, was amazing. Just imagine watching this movie on your TV, headphones in so you don't wake up your family, and being so invested in the lore and then getting that jump scare, man. It's awesome. That and the second one are really good. They should have stopped making movies after that. The Hobbit 3 movie collection, haven't seen them. I also haven't seen the Lord of the Rings 3 movies because I watched the first one when I was like 13 and just wasn't my thing, so I got a little bored. But I need to go back and watch them. And then the last one in this stack, and then I think I got like 5 more movies, and then I'm completely caught up. Green Lantern, the extended cut. This is a movie that, I don't know why I said the extended cut. It's Green Lantern. I watched it not a couple years ago, like 5, 6, 7 years ago when I was much more young than I was, and I had enough fun with it, but I haven't ever gone back to it. Alright. And then I have this stack here. And then I have this whole box. So there's probably about 200 movies in this box, and we went through quite a bit of them. Unless I'm overestimating or underestimating, there could be more or less. I didn't count them. I know on the floor, they're right here. Alright. Little Monsters 4K Steelbook. I haven't seen the movie, but it's one that I got for Easter a couple years ago my mom bought for me. Haven't watched it, but I've heard good things about the movie from my mom. So I'm meaning to check it out. Logan, phenomenal ending to Wolverine's story. They brought him back in Deadpool and Wolverine, but I don't think it really took away from that movie. But this one is just, man, it's awesome. Great action set pieces, great emotional ending. Just one of the best X-Men movies. Probably either the best or the second best. Any day of the week, I think I could go with Days of Future Past being the best. Loki, the complete first season, just a great MCU show. I revisit this one quite often, actually. Love the relationship between Loki and Sylvie, even though it's kind of weird if you put your brain to it. But great story as well. And then kind of ended Loki's arc in Season 2 phenomenally. What's this? Oh, okay. I'll talk about this real quick because I already kind of did. Lord of the Rings 3 film collection. Haven't seen these either. But I own them. I own all 6 of the movies in the franchise, so I'll have to go through that. Looper, a movie my brother bought for me a long time ago that I've been meaning to check out for a long time. Bruce Willis, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ryan Johnson movie. Interesting plot. Haven't watched it, but it's been on my radar for a while. The Lost Boys on 4K. I had The Lost Boys on Blu Ray, but I got this for Christmas, and then me and my dad were looking for something to watch, and my mom's like, why don't you watch one of your newer movies? And I'm like, okay, yeah. So we chose The Lost Boys, which A lot of it is a product of its time, but then also you get the ending, which is just full fun vampire action, and just made the movie worthwhile. I really dug it. And then The Losers, DC movie. Who's it directed by? Oh, nobody special. Sylvian White. I've heard it's just a really fun action movie that I've heard from people. I watched like the first 5 minutes, but then something came up and I couldn't watch the movie anymore. And then I have Kingsman: The Secret Service, Kingsman: The Golden Circle, all-time action movie. Once you get to that church sequence, you will absolutely believe me. It's awesome. And then The Golden Circle, not as near as good of a sequel, but I still love these characters. I still love the action sequences. So you have that going for it. And now we are caught up. Never mind. I was using my phone as a flashlight, and I took it down, that I already edited out, and realized I set it up on another tiny stack of 5 movies that I didn't talk about yet. The Wild Robot, my favorite movie from last year, just a phenomenal movie. Great score, great animation, great emotions. I'm not a parent, but the relationship between parent and duckling, just absolutely awesome. Just a beautiful animated movie, probably my favorite ever DreamWorks movie. A movie I missed last year that I haven't checked out yet, Late Night with the Devil. Late night show, goes crazy. I've heard it goes crazy. I've heard nothing but praise about it on Twitter, and I bought the Steelbook for it. I haven't checked it out yet, but I have the Steelbook for it. The Karate Kid, not the Karate Kid, but the one with Jackie Chan and Jaden Smith. Awful movie, awful. I watched the original and this one as a double feature in the movie theater, and I thought this one was just so atrocious because it's basically the same exact thing as that original one. I bought this one to watch when the new one came out, and I just haven't even opened it, haven't even watched it because I saw the first one and I just thought it was absolutely atrocious because it copies everything, but it's not good. It copies everything, but with like a Wish.com skin. Azrael, another movie from last year that I missed. I heard a lot of praise out of this one from film festivals, so just one I've always been interested in, Samara Weaving. I haven't checked it out, though. And then Hush on 4K, and this will officially get us caught up. Hush on 4K. They took it off Netflix. It's a Mike Flanagan horror movie. I want to get into Mike Flanagan's filmography. Haven't checked it out yet, but it's about a deaf writer who is getting her house broken into late one night. Sounds like a fantastic thriller movie to me. We still got quite a bit to go. We got the whole bottom layer of this box here. And then I got like a bag and another box full. We're not even halfway done. Probably about, I don't know, I probably have about 2 hours so far. The Matrix Resurrections, a movie I bought a couple years ago at Black Friday. I've only seen the original Matrix. I thought it was awesome. Haven't watched any of the sequels. I don't know why I have this. Max Winslow and the House of Secrets. Obviously I've heard of it, but I don't know what it's about or anything. I think it's one that I got for cheap at Dollar General. Justice League, the Steelbook. I bought it because the Steelbook is awesome. The movie itself is generic and entertaining enough, but for what Zack Snyder was trying to do, as much as I'm not the biggest Snyder fan, I do wish that we got to continue what he was doing in the DCEU, because for me, I think it's more unique and interesting. And so this one just kind of relegated to a generic one. Also, the back is black and white, which makes it awesome. Jumanji, The Next Level. Not as good as the Welcome to the Jungle, just because of the story inconsistencies, but it's still, love the cast, still very funny. And I'm excited for the third one, or the fourth one, technically, in the series, when it comes out. Let's grab this group here. I'm running out of space. Ready Player One, a Steven Spielberg movie, probably my least favorite Steven Spielberg movie. It's not very good. It just kind of relegates a fantastic book to cameos and Warner Brothers stuff. And the story just not really good. One of the biggest surprises of the decade so far, probably the century, honestly, Puss in Boots: The Last Wish. First Puss in Boots was generic. It was entertaining enough. This one, you have a phenomenal villain. You have great characters, and it's just a really fun and entertaining adventure while also having an emotional undertone and themes about death. Great movie. The Purge 4-film collection. Haven't seen these, but each Halloween I say I'm going to watch the Purge series, and I never get around to it. The concept is just a really cool concept to me. I just haven't checked out any of the movies. Thomas Jane, John Travolta, The Punisher. Again, I want to watch all of the Marvel movies eventually, and I got this one for $6 whenever I want to check out the Punisher movie. They will never be, it's been a long video. The guy who plays the Punisher in Marvel Netflix. John Bernthal. Never be him. Pulp Fiction, the Quentin Tarantino movie I want to watch the most. I just haven't watched it, but it's a massive cast. John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Harvey Keitel, Tim Roth, Amanda Plummer, Maria de Medeiros, Vig Rhames, Bruce Willis, Christopher Walken, Rosanna Arquette, and Eric Stoltz. And I've seen clips from it, and it looks awesome. I just haven't gotten around to watching it yet. Prometheus, an alien movie that doesn't feel like an alien movie. It feels like a weird sci-fi movie with a story that's not all that effective. As an alien movie, it's not good, though. But it's set up for Covenant, which is my favorite alien movie. Lost in Space, a movie that I've heard good things about. I just haven't checked out, so I don't got much to say. And then Major League 4K Steelbook. I've obviously seen this one growing up just because I love baseball. My family's a baseball fan. But it's a baseball comedy, and it can be really funny. Like I said, I'm not the biggest comedy guy, but that one can be pretty funny. Then we got one of my favorite Denis Villeneuve movies, Prisoners. It is just a fantastic, amazing movie. The opening to this film has me on the edge of my seat every time I watch it. Great cast. It's absolutely brutal and just devastating and emotional by the end of the film. I love Denis Villeneuve, and I love that movie. Rocky Balboa, probably I think it's my least favorite Rocky movie. I just feel like it kind of cheapens the rest of the franchise by bringing him back after the ending. RoboCop, this is the remake. I haven't seen any of the movies, but this was $4 at VStock, so I had to buy it just in case I'm ever in the mood for it. And then a movie that a lot of people didn't like that I really enjoyed, which was the remake to this, Jake Gyllenhaal version of Roadhouse. I own the original Roadhouse. I haven't seen it, but when Jake Gyllenhaal's sequel, I plan on watching them all and giving you a ranking where I can finally watch the original Roadhouse. My dad saw it, and he said it's not as near as good as the original Roadhouse, and I really liked it. I really liked the new Roadhouse, so who knows. Rise of the Guardians, a movie that story is a little bit mixed, but as an adventure, it's just got a really cool cast of characters and just one of the more unique movies you got. Also, the villain here is great, and I watched the heck out of that as a kid. R.I.P.D., Rest in Peace Department, got it for $6. Ryan Reynolds, Jeff Bridges. I haven't seen it, but probably one of the dumb, goofy movies that could be a lot of fun. Red Dawn, 4K Steelbook, got this one for Easter a couple years ago. Haven't seen it, but I've heard good things about it, and probably should check it out eventually. Red, got a bunch of older actors, Bruce Willis, Morgan Freeman, John Malkovich, and Helen Mirren. As an action movie, I've only seen bits and pieces of it. I haven't caught the whole movie, but it's on my radar. Up, a movie that the first 15 minutes is just absolutely phenomenal, emotional, classic Pixar. And then the rest of the movie is just a fun adventure with this with these characters. Doesn't measure up to this first 15, though. Unhinged, it's a road rage movie with Russell Crowe. Back when it released in 2020, I was really interested in it. And then I bought it, and I just haven't watched it. But if I'm ever in the mood for a road rage thriller, I'll turn that on. And then I talked about this a little bit earlier, Unbreakable. A movie that the script is a little bit mixed. It tries to do too much, in my opinion. But it's still got a really good twist and a really good story. Split, I think, is the best one out of that bunch, though. Let's finish off the first row out of two, this one. And then I'll stop filming for the night after I get this box done and do the rest. And then that'll be it. I'm curious to see how long this video is going to be. 2-3 hours? Twisters 4K Steelbook. I haven't seen the original, but I've seen this one, and I think it is just a really awesome movie. Get all the Twister action, but you also care about the characters. I love Glenn Powell. It's a really, really fun Twister movie with good story. Transformers Rise of the Beasts. It doesn't have any of the highs of Bumblebee. It doesn't have any of the highs of the original, or rather what I'm trying to say is it doesn't have any of the highs of the original, but it also doesn't have any of the lows of the original movies either. So it just stands there as an entertaining, sufficeable Transformers movie. A movie I've heard nothing but awful things about. Transcendence. Got Johnny Depp, Morgan Freeman, sci-fi movie. It also has, who else is in this movie? Cillian Murphy. Rebecca Hall is the name I was looking for. But I haven't seen it, but I got it for like $2 at Dollar General. That's the word. Train to Busan, a phenomenal zombie movie. Got it 4K Steelbook. Just another one. I think foreign films are amazing. They have all the thrills and awesome stuff that you want in a zombie movie, but also you have the character moments and the emotions, and by the end of the film, you're crying. I'm at least crying my eyes out. I've talked about the first Venom, I've talked about the third one, but I didn't get to this one. Venom Let There Be Carnage, the weakest one in my opinion. It's got good enough moments, but I think the story itself is the weakest one. Carnage is cool though. The Usual Suspects, my mom told me to buy it and not look up anything about it, so I haven't. Is this Bryan Singer? Haven't watched it, don't know anything about it, but it's one that's up on my radar I do need to check out. Whiplash, I said I'd mention this earlier. Phenomenal movie. Proves that Miles Teller will do anything to be a drummer. And it's got the thrilling moments. Didn't think that I'd be as impacted on that movie as I actually was. I don't know much about this one, but it's When a Stranger Calls. My mom told me to buy it because it was like this. I was like, yeah, sure. I'll get around to watching it. I don't know anything about it, but it looks like it could be a fun horror film. A movie that I bought because Sean Chandler said on his channel, it's a movie he always recommends, Warrior. I haven't watched it, though. I haven't even opened it, though. I do need to, though, because, I mean, I've heard nothing but phenomenal things about it. Is it open? Never mind, it's open. I don't know why I said it wasn't open. The Watchers, which is a movie directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, Shauna Night Shyamalan, and I found that it was a sufficeable enough thriller. It had some thrilling, entertaining moments. Didn't do anything real special, but I liked it enough. Warm Bodies, a zombie romance movie that I haven't seen, but it's on my radar if I'm ever in the mood to watch a woman be in relations with a zombie. WandaVision, Steelbook, I actually got 2 shows here, and then The Walking Dead Season 2. WandaVision just, I think, proves that MCU shows used to be really good, has some horror elements that I was not expecting. So WandaVision just kind of blows me away. It does lose me in the finale, though. And then The Walking Dead complete second season. You get these characters, they get on this farm, you love the characters. It's a much better season than the first season was. And then, like I said earlier, I just haven't gotten around to watching season 2. Let me grab this group here. Or haven't gotten around to finishing season 3 is what I'm trying to say. I've been filming for like 3 hours tonight. My brain is getting a little scattered. Operation Fortune, Rudy Guerrero, Guy Ritchie movie, fun enough action movie. Jason Statham, Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett, Carrie Elwes, Bugsy Malone, and Hugh Grant. Fun enough action film. Story's not the most original, but it suffices. Oppenheimer, the Best Picture winner by Christopher Nolan that I've seen. I don't know why I try to say I have not seen. I liked it enough out of the theater. I need to revisit it desperately, specifically on this 4K Steelbook. Actually, I didn't see it in the theater. I got it, I borrowed it from a friend, and I didn't see it in the theater. Yes, I do have the 3 right here. One of my personal favorite trilogies, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. that this one disappointed me, but Rise of the Planet of the Apes is just kind of a prequel to the story, and it's just a phenomenal prequel. Dawn is, I think I have it as my second favorite movie of all time. It just tells this awesome story. Coda is an amazing villain, and then just some awesome action sequences with great emotions. And this one, it didn't really tap into the war between apes and humans. It kind of had a completely different story along the way, so disappointed me. But maybe I need to revisit the movie. Paddington 2, one of the highest rated movies on Rotten Tomatoes, and I thought it was an enjoyable enough movie. Rotten Tomatoes, like, people could give it like 6 out of 10 and it could be 100, but I don't think that did anything wrong. But for me, it's not like a perfect movie. Plane, a Gerard Butler, Mike Coulter action movie that released in January a couple years ago. Haven't seen it. If I'm ever in the mood to watch a Gerard Butler action movie, there it is. The Pitch Perfect trilogy, Pitch Perfect 1, Pitch Perfect 2, Pitch Perfect 3. Haven't watched them. I was going to watch it for Elizabeth Debicki when she directed Cocaine Bear a couple years ago. Or was it last year? No, 2 years ago. But I didn't watch it, and now I have the Pitch Perfect trilogy if I'm ever in the mood to check it out. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I should have shown this with the other Planet of the Apes movies. And then this one just, again, starts off to what I hope is going to be another franchise. It's awesome. Great on 4K. Great action between the apes and everybody. And just kind of a brilliant beginning. Again, 10 out of 10. And then we got Platoon, an Oliver Stone movie that was nominated for 4 Academy Awards. Best Picture, Directing, Film Editing, Sound of 1986. My mom bought it for me. I haven't checked it out, though. Alright, let's actually do this. Let's take this group and let's put it back down here. Playing with Fire. John Cena with kids, goofy, stupid movie I enjoyed when I was a kid. Or I think it was like 14, 15 in 2019. My Bloody Valentine 3D. I think this is the remake. I've been meaning to watch this on Valentine's Day for several years, and I haven't. Looks like a fun Valentine's Day slasher. The Never-Ending Story. My mom loves this movie. Doesn't look like one I'd enjoy, but she bought it for me, so maybe I'll like it. And Now You See Me, movie with an all-star cast that just... I call this a hotel movie because several times when I'm at hotels, they're on HBO, and I'll just click them on. They'll be perfectly fine background movies, but if you're paying full attention to it, it's not really the movie you want to... Not really a movie that'd blow you away. Taking a drink of Celsius, and you're going to watch... All gone. Alright, we start here. Nope! 4K Steelbook. You can't tell it's Nope because it's just that creepy part, but then you got the helmet in the back. Like I said earlier, favorite Jordan Peele movie. I think it's absolutely awesome. Horrifying. Makes you think. It's just a really great movie. Ocean's 8. The women's one. I haven't seen any of the other Ocean movies except this one. Thought it was fun enough when I watched it a while back. One of my personal favorite Pixar movies, and it's because I am a sibling. I'm very close with my brother, and watching this movie just so emotional, completely impacts me. I highly relate to Chris Pratt's character. I adore this movie, and it's just got a fun adventure, but by the time the movie's over, I just end up sobbing my eyes out. Missing, a highly underrated movie from a couple years ago. A sequel to, what was it? I don't remember what the first one was called. Searching. Searching is what it was called. But Searching was really good. Missing was phenomenal. I actually really liked this one. Turned into a full-on horror movie at the end. I was at the edge of my seat the whole movie. I adored it. And I'm just a sucker for thriller movies, so I really loved it. A couple Mission Impossibles. Mission Impossible Fallout, which I think by definition is probably the best one out of the franchise, but for me, my personal favorite, like I said, Dead Reckoning Part 1. But Mission Impossible Fallout is absolutely awesome. Great action set pieces, a phenomenal story. I think I do the story, like, as good as it is, it does kind of get a little bit forgettable sometimes, but still, amazing. And then Ghost Protocol, one of my personal favorites as well, just because Brad Bird brings all the Brad Bird-isms that he can do inside the Mission Impossible franchise. It's really unique. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I was really looking forward to this movie, and I thought it was fine when I watched it a long time ago. Haven't rewatched it since it released. Mothra, Blu-ray Steelbook. Classic monster movie. I haven't watched it, but if I ever go back and watch all the classics, I have that on Steelbook. The Munsters, Rob Zombie, The Munsters. It's weird. It's entertaining enough. I enjoyed watching it as a family, but it's just a weird, not very good movie. Murder on the Orient Express, murder mystery movie that keeps me on the edge of my seat every time I watch it. And then the ending is just really emotional with emotional reveals. We have 3 movies. I've only seen this one and the third one. Third one is okay. This one is really good, and I haven't seen the second one. The Magnificent Seven, which is directed by Anton Fuqua. The Magnificent Seven, directed by Anton Fuqua. All-star cast, Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington, Ethan Hawke. Western movie, haven't watched it. Speaking of Western movies, the last movie I watched is a Western, and it's in there that I will have to get up and go get here in a minute. Because I got my final stack that I'm going to do tonight right here. This is the last stack, and then I got to go home or to my original house with the original studio and go grab those movies. So we probably got about 50 more. We need a code word if you're still here. Say key lime pie in the comment section if you're still here. And if you are, I really appreciate it. Long video. Love and Monsters. A movie that I've heard nothing but great things about, and I could not wait to watch it back when it released. And I watched it, and it is a really good, really original monster film. I had a really fun time with. Dylan O'Brien, I really love him. He's kind of disappeared, hasn't he? I haven't seen him in much. Halloween 2, a movie that each year I say, I'm going to watch a sequel to the original Halloween, and I never do, but I own it. Maybe this is the year. Like I said, I love the Halloween movies. Gran Turismo, a movie that's just purely phenomenal. Has the relationship between the kid and his dad, which relates to my relationship with my dad, and I think that it's just absolutely phenomenal, absolutely emotional, great racing sequences. People will be talking about F1. This one kind of disappeared off the map, and it's a movie I'll highly recommend to anyone to check out. I love it. We got Mary Poppins Returns. Haven't watched it, but I got it for cheap at Dollar General. No Time to Die, the James Bond movie that I've seen. I feel like the third act kind of goes off the rails for me, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. But I do need to go back and rewatch it. I haven't seen it for quite some time. Don't think it'll be as good as Casino Royale, though. And I'm dropping things. I'm starting to drop things. I have to hold them in my lap now. I'm out of room. The Man from U.N.C.L.E. This is a Guy Ritchie movie that the story just goes all over the place. I didn't really enjoy it when I watched it. Me, Myself, and Irene, a Jim Carrey movie. Again, I haven't seen. Renee Zellweger is in this one as well. I haven't seen it, but if I ever want to watch all of Carrey's filmography. Men, which is an Alex Garland movie. I love Alex Garland. He's one of my favorite directors working. I have Civil War somewhere. I think it's in the other piles. He's one of my favorite directors working. This movie, I feel like, is probably his weakest script, though, because it alludes to things and never fully wraps around. It gets really weird, but it has some thrilling moments in there. And then the final movie we are going to talk about tonight, Midsommar. And then the final movie I'm going to talk about tonight, which is weird because literally in just a second you're going to see more, but it's going to be a couple hours for me. Midsommar. Ari Aster. It has Florence Pugh. I adore her. It's always a movie I'm really interested in watching, but just like with Hereditary, I don't know if it'll be too disturbing that I won't enjoy it. All right. See you in a second. All right. It's weeks later. Like 2 weeks later than I last filmed. Because I officially got all the movies over here. And today, which is same time, I'm finishing it. I'm finishing this haul. In case you can't see, I got my area started. I'm going to put posters up on the wall. All that. First file. These are actually two new movies that my mom actually recently bought for me on Amazon because they were cheap. Two 4Ks. First up, and I haven't opened them yet because obviously I haven't seen them. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, Edgar Wright. I'm watching all of Edgar Wright's movies for, what's it called? The Running Man that he's doing in November. And these are movies like, I know I've already talked about my Shaun of the Dead Steelbook, but these are new. So, Hot Fuzz, World's End. Want to see them? Now I have them on 4K. Don't know if I'll watch the Steelbook or if I'll watch the 4K. Probably the 4K. And then I know I've already talked about this one as well, but she also bought me Live, Die, Repeat on 4K. So, getting rid of Live, Die, Repeat on Blu-ray, and now I have it on 4K. Creed, a Ryan Coogler movie, a spin-off of the Rocky franchise, or requel of the Rocky franchise, whatever. I rewatched it. I used to think it was good. Now I think it's great. It's a great sports movie. Motivational. Has great arcs for Rocky, for Creed. Great movie. I know I said I was going to rank Ryan Coogler's movies when Sinners came out. I just haven't seen Fruitvale Station, so I haven't been able to rank them. Clue, the movie. A movie I absolutely adore. It's funny. It's a good murder mystery. It's entertaining. And it's got different endings. So I saw Clue, the musical, when at a local high school was doing it. And it's still great. So not Clue the musical, but Clue the play. So I love this movie. I love Clue the game. I love Clue the movie. I love all that with Clue. We got Dazed and Confused. I don't know anything about this movie. I just know that it was $7.99 on V-Stock, and my mom told me I should buy it. So I got Dazed and Confused. Running out of room to put movies again. I think this came out last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. The Blackening. I saw it at Walmart. It was like $10. So I was like, okay, I'll watch it. So basically, it's a board game. All these characters are all black. They're in horror. They're in a horror movie, and they're trying to do survive as the black characters in their own horror movie. So it has some funny moments. It has some entertaining moments. It doesn't really have much of substance, but it's a solid 3.5 star movie. I had enough fun watching it, but it's not like one of the great recent horror movies. The Dark Knight Rises combo pack, DVD, Blu-ray, Ultraviolet. I actually haven't finished The Dark Knight Rises. I saw like the first hour. I wasn't a fan of it, and then I just kind of turned it off. This was a long time ago. The Dark Knight, we'll talk about that here in a few minutes, is my favorite movie of all time, so a little bit weird how I don't love this one, but I actually, like, that was years ago, and I haven't ever went back to it, so I have it, and I need to go back to it soon. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. It's a solid zombie movie, you know. They're stuck in a mall. Zombie chaos happens. There's some cool zombie action. Zack Snyder knows how to shoot action and horror stuff, and just like Army of the Dead, which was on Netflix, Dawn of the Dead is a really fun one. I prefer Army of the Dead over it, but it's still a zombie movie I really enjoyed. Haven't seen Don't Breathe, but I've heard some amazing things about it. Best American horror film in 20 years, as you see down here. Basically, these people break into a blind man's house, and he is a badass and starts killing people. Haven't seen the movie, but it's been on my watch list for a while, and I was planning on, when Alien Romulus, on my old channel, I was planning on ranking the Alien Romulus, the Fede Alvarez movies. Alright, another pile. Suicide Squad. I've talked about this movie a lot recently because of the James Gunn ranking, because of all that, and I recently, like, literally I'm filming this right after I did my 2020's comic book movies live stream. So, great movie. James Gunn knows how to direct a cast full of people. I actually had the Blu-ray of this movie, and I saw this one on V-Stock. I'm like, I'll give you my Blu-ray, Jacob, if you let me have this one. So, we did. So, I got this one. One of my favorite movies of all time. Challengers. Luca Guadagnino recently stepped away from Sergeant Rock, or is not directing that movie. So, god dang it! Really looking forward to that because this is a movie that normally wouldn't interest me, but Luca Guadagnino's direction is absolutely masterful. I love the cast here. It's intense, it's interesting, and the ending is just ultimately satisfying. So, Challengers is just a movie I really loved watching. It was in top 10 movie of last year. Number 10 to be exact. Creepshow 4K Steelbook. I don't know anything about this, but it's another movie my mom bought for me on Easter as a 4K Steelbook. So I haven't watched it, but if I'm ever in the mood to check it out, I have it. My favorite movie of all time, The Dark Knight. I just adore this movie as this thumb thing keeps coming up, and I don't know why. Is it when I do my thumb? I don't know. Love this movie. I really love The Dark Knight. Heath Ledger, phenomenal. It's in the, like, it makes Gotham City feel like a lived-in place. It makes Gotham City feel like it's a people instead of just a place. So it has emotions in the end. Stuff with Two-Face is great, and the ending of this should have set up a great Dark Knight Rises. Like I said, I haven't seen it. I just adore that movie. It's pieces. Blue Beetle, I might have talked about this one already, but I don't know. Great movie. The first 2 acts, a little light on action, but after those first 2 acts, the second half of the movie just has some great action, great emotions. They take a throwaway villain and just do some great emotions with them. And the emotions with the family stuff is great as well. The Divergent trilogy, Divergent, Insurgent, Allegiant, I haven't seen them, but like a long time ago, I was obviously into the teen dystopian novels and movies, so I still love the Hunger Games movies, but I haven't ever checked these out. But I have this if I'm ever going to check them out if they ever make a new one, which I don't think they will. Then we got District 9. I talked about Neil Blomkamp movies. This is the one I'm most excited to check out. I've heard phenomenal things about this one, and so it's just one that's always been on my radar for a while. I haven't checked it out, though, but just from this cover alone, it looks really interesting. And then another movie in that trilogy by Rob Zombie, The Devil's Rejects. Again, haven't checked out this movie. I haven't checked out the trilogy, but I have The Devil's Rejects for whenever I do check out the trilogy. Looks to be messed up. Looks to be a fun trilogy. Grab these 3 movies down here. My favorite Edgar Wright movie that I've seen, and I have seen 2 of them, I think. I've seen this, and I've seen Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. Maybe I've seen another. I don't know. Baby Driver. I love this movie, man. It is so cool. It's one of my personal favorites of all time. I have a friend who says it's one of the greatest movies of all time, and I'll disagree with him on that, but it's one of my personal favorites. It's intense. It's got a fantastic cast. You're on the edge of your seat for that entire third act. Got some awesome action sequences, a great romance between our 2 leads. So just a movie that is just purely great and intense, and great direction by Edgar Wright. Mad Max Fury Road, a really good action movie. A lot of people consider it one of the best of all time. I disagree with them on that, but it still has some intense action sequences. George Miller can direct things really uniquely, so it is one of the most unique action movies I've ever seen. Tom Hardy is really great. Max, Charlize Theron, really great in this movie as well. It's one I really enjoy watching. 3 movies here. Trilogy of sorts. Deadpool, Deadpool 2, Deadpool and Wolverine on 4K. I wasn't the biggest fan of Deadpool when I first watched it, but I rewatched it and I just had so much better time. So, one that I found to be absolutely hilarious, awesome, great action sequences. One that was my favorite one until I rewatched it, and then I thought, okay, yeah, some bad CGI holds it back, but still, again, really funny. A couple of solid action sequences. Cable's great in here. And then Deadpool and Wolverine, which I just adore. I love this. I love Hugh Jackman. I think he brings such an authentic view into the Deadpool area. It's a respectable homage to the Fox world. I've seen it 3 times in the theater. I watched this one a couple times on disc. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I adore it. Or favorite MCU movies of all time. I think it's in the top 20, which is crazy to think about because there are a lot of MCU movies. Shoot, I still got these 3 to talk about too. Alright. Longlegs, a horror movie that I really liked. I was really scared by out of the theater. And then I rewatched the movie and I just noticed the devil lurking in the background. Really unsettling movie. Osgood Perkins directs this one perfectly. Story might have a little bit of flaws, but it's a movie that I really love. We got a couple Captain America movies. The only 2 I have. First Avenger, Winter Soldier. First Avenger, unpopular opinion, I might enjoy it a little bit more than The Winter Soldier. Find it just be a great story, a great villain in Red Skull, and a fantastic ending. And then The Winter Soldier is a movie I still really like. Great action sequences in here. Bucky's great, but I do feel the pacing kind of is a little bit exhausting in this one. But still, Captain America trilogy is one of the best, as my email goes off. Civil War is one of the best MCU movies. Birds of Prey and the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. It's a solid DCEU movie. There's some good action sequences. Ewan McGregor as Black Mask is great. Does go a little bit too much girl power in the third act for me, but still a solid movie with a cool directorial style. The DCEU is one of the most inconsistent universes, but I think each individual movie is entertaining enough. The Jason Bourne 4-film collection, we got, what are the movies called? The Bourne Identity, The Bourne Supremacy, The Bourne Ultimatum, The Bourne Legacy, and Jason Bourne. So there's 5 movies in here. I've seen The Bourne Identity a long time ago, and I thought it was good enough, but I haven't ever revisited any of these movies. But I have the 5-film collection on Blu-ray if I ever decide to check them out. Beast, the movie that should be so much better than it actually is, and it just ends up being okay, man fights lion, man fights animal movie. Some solid horror elements in here, but overall the movie just kind of fell flat emotionally for me. Clash of the Titans, Steelbook. I haven't heard great things about this. I've never checked it out, but I have it on Steelbook if I do, and I might check it out before Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey next year, just to see just like a fantasy movie. Don't know why I have it. The Steam Engine of Oz. Ron Perlman, William Shatner, and Julianne Howe is in this movie. I think my brother got this for like $3 and gave it to me as a joke or something at Dollar General. Haven't watched it. Never plan on watching it. But I have it for some odd reason. And then I already talked about Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3 on 4K. By far the best movie in this franchise. It is just completely awesome. Awesome action sequences, very much feels like the video games. Shadow is great, great emotions, actual stakes here, and the final hour of the movie is just so intense. You can ask my brother, I'm sitting in the theater, and I'm not the biggest Sonic fan, but I do like the character. I was like, oh my god, this is awesome! And I was freaking out. The mid-credit scene made me go, oh my god, we actually get that in the movie! So it's just a movie that I just had so much fun with, and I loved, and it was a top 10 movie of last year. Alright, let's grab this stack right here. Alright, don't know what this is, but it is a Arrow Video, got it for $16 of Chud. I guess it's called Chud. I don't know anything about it, but it looks like it's going to be a freaky movie. It looks like there's sewer stuff, some monsters. Don't know anything about it, but it is an Arrow Video, so I bought it at Planet Overstock. The Blind Side and Dolphin Tale. I haven't seen any of these movies. I've heard great things about this one, and I haven't really heard anything about this one, but again, it's one that I got for cheap at Dollar General if I ever want to check out any of those movies. Liam Neeson, The Commuter, Lives Are on the Line. There was a time where I just wanted to watch all of Liam Neeson's action movies, and I watched a couple of them. This is not one. The reason I picked this up is because it's directed by Jamie Colette Sarah. I hope I'm saying that name right. Woman in the Arbor is directed by him. I really like that movie. So I really like his direction. I think he is a really good director with some unique style. So maybe this one will be good if I ever want to check out the rest of Liam Neeson's action movies. Speaking of The Naked Gun, I'm not really looking into that movie. I don't think it looks that good. A movie that my dad turns on like 3 times a year that I'm not the biggest fan of. It's just like kind of a generic movie. Battleship. I thought that was Tom Cruise at the front for a minute. I was like, what? No, it's got... Who's in this movie? It says Liam Neeson, Alexander Skarsgård, Taylor Kitsch, Brooklyn Decker. So a couple big names. Battleship. Like I said, my dad turns it on. I think it's more of a generic movie. It's decent enough, but it's never one that I fully sat through. Because I just like, okay, that looks fine. My dad loves that movie, though. Big Trouble in Little China. I like this slip that we got here. It's a cool slip. I think I watched this movie a long... Wait, is this a John Carpenter movie? Holy crap, it is. Okay, this is not the one I'm thinking of. Is it? No, it's not. I haven't seen this movie. But it's John Carpenter, and like I said, I want to watch John Carpenter's filmography. So I have that. The Boondock Saints. Looks like it is a gangster movie. Again, another movie my mom's like, yeah, that's a good movie, so... I bought it. Haven't checked it out, but it's here whenever I check it out. Alex Garland's Civil War on 4K. A movie that, leaving the theater, I was like, okay, yeah, that was really good, but the third act kind of undermined a lot of things. Now, I've rewatched it a couple times, and I think it's great. I love how Alex Garland can make a Civil War movie in an election year and piss off the least amount of people. It still pisses off people, because people are people, but the movie doesn't ever choose sides. So, like, you're viewing this war at a neutral standpoint, which is really interesting. Some great action sequences. Sound design is perfect. Should have been nominated at the Oscars, I think. But Alex Garland, not my favorite movie from him, but I do think Alex Garland's one of my favorite filmmakers. So, really like that one. And then, last in this stack, Sinners, a movie I recently bought in the weeks since I started filming this video. Because it's one of the best movies of the year so far. Love the cast. I love the journey from the beginning. I feel like the second half of the movie isn't as entertaining, but still, it's intense. Got some great vampire stuff, and the stuff they do with music is great. And it has the expanded aspect ratio sequences. Cannot wait to revisit this one. I've already seen it 3 times in the theater. Can't wait to watch it a 4th. And then we got this pile right here. 2 more piles for here, and then I got another bag. And then I think that does it. Crazy how it's been a couple hours for you guys and it's been like 3 weeks for me. Evil Dead 4K Steelbook. I might have talked about this movie already. I don't know. But, yeah, I have all the Evil Dead movies. I know I've talked about the Army of Darkness 4K Steelbook I have. But this one, like, I was just at Walmart. I wasn't going to buy anything, but I was just walking. This was just sitting there. Like, just face down on one of the counters. I picked it up. I'm like, holy crap, a 4K Steelbook of Evil Dead. Even though I find that this movie gets way too much, gets way too fan-fiction-y near the end, gets way too weird. Again, it's a Fede Alvarez movie that builds tension. It's the scariest one in this franchise. Actually, Evil Dead Rise might be a little bit scarier, but still, it's a decent movie. Not great, but still good. A Tarantino movie I bought because my dad really wanted to watch it. I never watched it, but it's something I got to watch with him soon. Django Unchained. It is got Jamie Foxx, Christopher Waltz, Leonardo DiCaprio, Kerry Washington, and Samuel Jackson in the movie. And it looks to be really, really good. He's heard that it's funny, it's a Western, and I can really dig a good Western movie. Detective Pikachu, a movie that, as not the biggest Pokemon fan, is really good. It's a really good video game movie. Got a unique mystery that I was invested in. Justice Smith is really cool in this movie. Ryan Reynolds is a great Pikachu. And it does expand the world of Pokemon. So I really do dig this movie. Despicable Me 2, my personal favorite out of the Despicable Me movies. This is the one I watch the most. I have a really good time with it. I love the animation. I love the villain in this movie. I got it for $2 at Goodwill, and I've watched the heck out of this one. Favorite one in the franchise by far. A Guy Ritchie movie I was really looking forward to when it first came out. Bought it on Blu-ray, and I haven't watched it since The Covenant. Haven't watched it, but it's one I still really want to watch because I've heard great things about it. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal in it, so I own it on Blu-ray whenever I check it out. Tyler Perry's Boo! Medea Halloween. Or shall I say, Boo! Sorry, that probably hurt your ears. Haven't watched it. I haven't heard great things about Tyler Perry movies, but I have it if I ever want to watch it. Probably would never, though. A movie I've seen clips on that looks great. I just haven't checked it out, but I've been meaning to. Brothers with Tobey Maguire, Jake Gyllenhaal, Natalie Portman. It looks so intense. It looks so emotional. I've seen clips of it online. I need to watch this movie. It looks like a great movie. Another Neil Blomkamp movie, Chappie. Haven't seen the movie. This might be the one. Well, I'm looking forward to this one. Besides Elysium, like I said, Elysium is the one I'm least forward looking to, or looking the what I'm least interested in checking out is what I'm trying to say. But this one looks like it'll be okay. I don't know much about it, but I have it whenever I check out Neil Blomkamp's movies. Whiplash, a purely phenomenal movie. It's intense about a drummer. It's about a drummer, and it manages to be so intense with a great performance by Miles Teller, great performance by J.K. Rowling, or not J.K. Rowling, J.K. Simmons. 2 completely different people. But, I mean, it's just a great movie. Great, perfect movie. And the only one out of Damien Chazelle's movies I have checked out. Alright, one more pile here until we move on to the bag. And then that'll do it. Blade Runner 2049. Honestly, for me, it's one of my least favorite Denis Villeneuve movies. And I think it's because I haven't seen the first one. So I just went in this one. I'm like, yeah, it had some really good moments in it. But overall, like, I was like, okay, that was fine. Maybe the story would be more interesting to me if I watched the first one, but it really wasn't. Steelbook of the Blues Brothers. I don't know who's in this movie. I know it's a couple comedy guys. My dad said it's a great movie. Got it for Christmas a couple years back. Haven't checked it out, though. So I need to check it out. Captain Marvel, one of the most underrated MCU movies. I love this movie. I think the story is just really enjoyable. It has a lot of twists and turns. Some good action sequences. It's one of the most underrated MCU movies, and I purchased it and I watched it several times. One of the movies when Disney Plus first came out, I watched on repeat. Death Race. I haven't seen it, but it's got Jason Statham, Tyrese Gibson, Ian McShane, and Joan Allen in it. And it's a movie that my brother bought for me at the thrift store and that I haven't ever checked out. Looks interesting enough, maybe. Central Intelligence. It's one of the Kevin Hart, Dwayne Johnson movies that I haven't checked out, but I've seen clips online. It looks funny. These two guys have great chemistry, so maybe if I'm ever in the mood to watch a goofy movie, I'll turn that on. Bullet Train, a movie I wasn't the biggest fan of out of the theater, but I've rewatched it a couple times, and I've noticed that the script is pure genius. It has all these twists and turns, all these individual things that are being set up for the movie that are just intense. Great cast here, great action set pieces. So Bullet Train is one I really, really enjoy. Because it is directed by David Leitch, who I love, like I talked about with The Fall Guy. I love his direction. The Crow, Brandon Lee. I haven't, it's 4K. I haven't checked this one out because I checked out the remake before this one. Kind of turned me off from the rest of the franchise, even though I've heard this one is so much better. But if I ever am in the mood to check it out, I have the 4K of it with Brandon Lee. Rest in peace. Blinded by the Light, a movie I bought, looked interesting at Dollar General, but I haven't ever checked it out. It's a Bruce Springsteen, maybe, I don't know. He heard the music of Bruce Springsteen, and he's a Pakistani teen or something like that. Haven't checked out the movie, but it looks interesting if I'm ever in the mood. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is a ton of fun, and then Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey was just so boring, I turned it off after like 30 minutes. Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, just two great leads, having a really fun time. And then I haven't checked this out, and I haven't watched the newest one, but Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure is just a really, really fun comedy. And now we're on to the bag. Every movie that is in here is the final movies that we are talking about in this Blu-ray haul. 3 weeks in the filming process. Let me just start out by grabbing a handful. Running out of room here. Oh, let's hold them. Aladdin, a great Disney animated movie with a great cast. Robin Williams is perfect as the genie. It's funny. It's got a good story, but for some reason, I honestly think I prefer the live-action remake over this because it's just a movie that makes itself really compatible with a live-action remake. A Clockwork Orange, Stanley Kubrick movie that I haven't seen. I haven't seen any of Stanley Kubrick's movies, but I bought this one. I've heard it's just so messed up, so wacky, but I've never checked it out. Is this two of them? Yes, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective is my favorite comedy movie of all time. It's hilarious. It's got some of the best jokes of all time. I die laughing every time I watch it. And I've never seen When Nature Calls because I just haven't heard great things about it. I don't want to watch a movie when the first one's just so perfect. If I'm going to watch an Ace Ventura movie, I'm going to watch the first one. Abigail, Collector's Edition, Blu-ray, DVD. They all say Collector's Edition anyways. A great movie. Very funny, great ensemble cast, just running from a vampire ballerina. And what more can you want? I think the third act gets a little bit too goofy for me, but this is just a purely awesome movie that I've watched 5 or 6 different times. It's awesome. Highly recommend that one. A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I saw this on the same day as Knives Out, and for some reason this managed to be better than Knives Out. I mean, I watched it maybe when I was 13, and I was in tears. Watched it a couple times, still in tears. Tom Hanks is perfect, and it's just a movie about being kind to one another. So I love A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Probably my favorite movie of 2019, if I'm being completely honest. I also got a bunch of CDs in this bag, too, but we're not going to go through those. One of my favorite thriller movies of all time, 10 Cloverfield Lane. I think John Goodman is phenomenal in this movie, really intense. But we also got Mary Elizabeth Winstead. The finale of this movie is just so edge of your seat intense that it's awesome. I love this movie, and it is one of my favorite thrillers. I love Cloverfield as well, but 10 Cloverfield Lane is my favorite of the franchise. The final movie in the trilogy by Rob Zombie, 3 from Hell. Haven't seen it, again. Talked enough about that trilogy. Favorite Western movie of all time, James Mangold's 3:10 to Yuma is just a really great movie. Christian Bale, Russell Crowe, really intense. Great action sequences, and the third act is just really good. James Mangold's a great director, and he did great with 3:10 to Yuma. Zack Snyder's 300. Did I talk about 300 Rise of the Empire? If I have that, I don't remember. 300, I don't know if I have that. But 300, a movie I'm never really interested in, but my brother bought it for me, so don't know if I ever checked it out, but I will if I'm ever ranking Snyder's movies. Next pile in here, we got the 4K. Actually, I didn't realize I have both of these. Ant-Man, which is one of my most underrated MCU movies. It's just a great heist movie inside the MCU. Significantly worse, Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's still fun, but it's not as near as fun as this one. And then Quantumania is awful. I will never buy that movie. Actually, my mom bought it for me. I gave it to my brother. I'm like, sorry, Mom. I hate that movie. I don't want it. But my brother's like, okay, I'll take it. But Ant-Man and the Wasp is not as good, but still has some fun moments. Horror movie from a couple years ago, Antlers. I bought it. Haven't checked it out. Is this Guillermo del Toro? No, it's produced by Scott Cooper, directed it. I love horror movies. I bought it. I just never checked it out. Can't say much about it. Dylan O'Brien, Michael Keaton, Steelbook of American Assassin. I haven't seen the movie, but I went on a church trip and I saw this movie. I'm like, I'm going to buy it. So I did, because it's a Steelbook. But haven't checked it out yet, so don't have much to say. This pile here. What do we got in this pile? Okay, I did not talk about the Army of Darkness 4K Steelbook, but I will now. Army of Darkness 4K Steelbook. It's fine. It's entertaining enough, but I mean, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead Rise, probably even Evil Dead 2013 is better than this movie. But this one is fine. It's one of my mom's favorite movies. That's why she bought me the 4K Steelbook. Let's do this. Do I have... I know I have part 2 somewhere in here. Guess I'll find it when I find it. We got Batman Returns, the sequel to Batman 89. I haven't seen any of them, but I have seen The Flash several times. And I just pulled the camera cord. Michael Keaton is a great Batman, and I do mean to watch all Batman movies. He's my favorite DC character. It might be my favorite comic book character. I know I have part 1 in here, but for now, let's just talk about Batman The Long Halloween part 2. They're mid, they're fine, they're entertaining enough. They're just typical animated Batman movies. The Long Halloween comic series is one of my favorite comic series of all time, so as it means something special to me, these don't. These are just okay. Atomic Blonde, a movie that the first act is really boring, but then once we get into the action sequences, again, another David Leitch movie with great action sequences. He can direct action very good, and he sure as heck does in this movie. It's awesome. A movie that I really enjoy. I watched it a couple times. I still love it. And then the 4K Steelbook of A Quiet Place Part 2 with Emily Blunt, John Krasinski. I think I prefer the original Quiet Place because that one just has more of an emotional kick to it. But Stuff on the Island is the best stuff in this franchise. It has some great, thrilling, edge-of-your-seat action sequences and sets up Quiet Place Part 3, which I'm anticipating when it comes. Alright, let me grab this group of movies here. Alright, I got 5 here. Arcadian, a movie which should have been so much better, and it just wasn't. I just watched this movie, and I was like, okay. Shaky cam didn't work, the story is all over the place, but hey, the monster design is really cool. Aliens. Like I said, Alien Romulus is my favorite movie in the franchise. Actually, no, Covenant is my favorite movie, and then Alien Romulus is second. But this movie is good. I like it better than the original. Morally, Aliens equals more action. Had fun enough time with it. James Cameron's Avatar. Oh, 2 James Cameron movies back to back. Haven't seen it, but I mean, I was going to watch it before Way of Water, and then I haven't seen Way of Water. So I'm anticipating watching these 2 before Avatar 3 this winter. We got a couple comic book movies. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. I do enjoy the chemistry between these 2, but besides that, the movie's not all that interesting. I do like Black Manta as a villain, but the story is weak. But there is some solid action set pieces. The Batman, a perfect Batman movie. So intense sequences. Sean Chandler describes it as 7 in Batman comic book 7. cannot agree more, even though I haven't seen 7, but, you know, you get the gist of it. Colin Farrell's great. Paul Dano's great. Zoe Kravitz is great. Robert Pattinson's a great Batman. Not a great Bruce Wayne, but he's a great Batman. So I was disappointed leaving the theater from that, but I rewatched that on 4K Steelbook a couple times. I loved it each time I watched it. Is this it? Are we nearing the end? Is this my final stack? I know you're hearing a big mess down there. This is my final stack. Actually, I have a couple movies in that room that I watched. We can talk about. All right, final stack. We're near the end. Probably 2.5 hours into this. We got The Bike Riders. Jodie Comer, Austin Butler, Tom Hardy. A movie that I watched, and I was thinking that, I'm going to find this boring, but I might as well check it out because it's movie of the week. And I had a really good time with it. Great cast. Never really bored me, except maybe like 1 or 2 sequences. And it was just, it's just an interesting story I enjoyed. Ambulance, or Ambulance, Michael Bay movie, Jake Gyllenhaal, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, and Eliza Gonzalez. It's a fun enough movie. I enjoyed it enough, but overall, it's definitely got weak parts. I wanted to take a nap after watching. I was like, okay, got a little bit boring at times, but still intense, awesome action sequences. Michael Bay knows how to direct action. And then Batman The Long Halloween Part 1. I do prefer Part 2 over Part 1, but still, they're both really mid. Beetlejuice, a movie that came out last year. I saw in the theater. I thought to myself, I'm not going to like this, and I did really, really like it. It just really really unique Tim Burton movie. I'm not the biggest Tim Burton guy, but this movie just really interesting and kind of zany, kind of weird, never waned my interest. And then The Beekeeper, a movie that is directed by David Ayer, Jason Statham. It's action. It's kind of like a John Wick spinoff, but I really did enjoy this movie as just a standalone John Wick spinoff type movie. So I really liked The Beekeeper. Unfortunately, A Working Man's my least favorite movie of the year so far. Hell or High Water. I was very excited for this. I heard nothing but immaculate things about it. And I watched it and I thought, yeah, that was fine. It's a fine movie. You know, I liked it. 3.5 stars. Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, Ben Foster, all great in this movie. Some cool, intense sequences. Third act is great. I do feel like the action should have started much sooner to keep me interested the whole time. But it's still a solid movie. And that'll do it, folks. That's like 300 movies, I guess. I'm estimating totally, but I don't know how long this is going to be, but thank you guys for sticking with me for my complete Blu-ray and 4K collection. With that said, subscribe.